What's up, guys? It's Carla Vasquez back for another episode of Carla V Thinks Out Loud. We are on episode 28, and we finally have a guest here. I've been trying to get on. We've been trying. Even today, we're late because traffic, city, half the lights went down. Whole thing would happen. Larry doesn't believe me. Just kidding. You drive out there on these streets. No, and okay, so getting back to the point.
Well, if you would have left earlier.
I know. Well, I left at 5, got gas. I texted you.
Show.
I texted you when I was about to get on I-40.
You know this is your show, right?
I know. And I left at my house at 5. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to get here.
Wow.
I was stuck on the I-40 bridge for a very long time.
Wow.
Just kidding. And then 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to have Tierney Staley on. Am I saying her last name correctly? He's a comedian.
What's up, everybody?
Podcast producer, host, all of that. I was actually on his podcast yesterday, Escaping Tyranny. You'll be able to hear that
On Friday.
Yeah, we had a snow day a couple of weeks ago. A lot of, reschedulings, but I'm really happy to have you here. And with that said, we will talk about a lot today and maybe some hippo talk too. Also,
why do you like hippos?
Oh, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Just kidding. I was journaling about it the other day. That's weird. Okay, we are starting the show officially. It's episode 28. Carla V Thinks Out Loud. Thank you. Carla's got a podcast now. She doesn't know technology. Larry's pushing buttons and recording things for you to see every week. She'll be asking guest questions. She'll be saying a lot. She'll be wondering about the world. It's time now for Carla V Thinks Out Loud. Yay, guys. What's up, Tierney?
That was the first time I've actually seen that intro. I love the song, but I've never actually seen it because I'm audio only. So.
Oh yeah, you listen on Spotify. Yeah, Larry put that together, and at the end there was me at the aquarium, freaking out about fish.
Yeah,
I need to be friends with them.
That's one of the first segments we did, and we don't do those anymore.
We need to.
I don't know what your problem is.
I said let's go out again, and then we never did it, and then we're both like, let's do this, let's do it, and then nobody says we're gonna do this.
Because anytime I call, you never answer.
Whatever. I call you right back usually, or text you. I'm better at texting and saying I'll call you soon. I'm out on the roads.
I'm surprised you even made it to a date yesterday.
Today.
Or
today.
There you go.
Yeah,
Brunch date.
Brunch date. So you had actual brunch food, or is it like around brunch time? I feel like there's an important distinction.
Oh, good question. Yes. They had brunch.
Yes,
I didn't really want much. We did have mimosas, and then he had a Bloody Mary, and I had a margarita, and it was noon, 11.
Okay. So you had brunch beverages.
Brunch beverages. And then he ate some huevos rancheros, and I had like a pastry or something because I wasn't really hungry.
I gotcha.
So yeah, we went to Range. It was nice. Yeah.
Range is cool. I
had a brunch date. See, I get up early and do things, Larry. Usually I'm just driving when Larry tries to call me.
There you go.
You know how many times I've tried to call you at 9 o'clock in the morning and no answer? Not even a text back till like 1.
Or if you call me around that time, I'm driving. Because sometimes I get up at like 9 and get on the road by 10 and drive to 1.
Hey, it's none of
then
my
I walk
business.
A dog.
It's none of my business. It's your show.
Whatever, Dad.
I'm just here being the bitch.
I'm only the producer. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. You have to hear his podcast, Larry. There's a whole segment about you.
Yeah, we did talk about you quite a bit. You're a legend on the show.
Yeah.
I've never met you, so I was excited to come on the show. I'm very excited.
Listen.
Thank you very much. This is it's a huge honor.
No, thank you. And thank you for having me. Yeah, but there's a whole segment we talk about Larry. You'll have to listen. I got a little sentimental. No, I got a little like self-reflective or something and sentimental about some stuff. And I was like, whoa, that's the first time I've like said that out loud like that. In a good way, but also not. Anyway, we appreciate you and thank you for having us here.
Yeah, this is good
Larry.
stuff.
Larry J thinks out loud.
I've never felt more of a piece of shit about my podcast. I walk in, I'm like, oh, this is cool shit. I'm like, dang, you guys got the whole hookup, man. I'm like, I'm running on like some shitty mics from like Walmart, so this is cool.
No, you have your stuff together and like It seemed all professional. You had the headphones.
Time,
you had
buddy.
the.
It takes time, buddy.
Definitely. I've already
I didn't buy
upgraded
all this
equipment.
shit over fucking night.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, we were talking about that before, just like the equipment and stuff. It is a process. I mean,
It's a process.
You know, and the more you want to like upgrade, you just gotta keep putting a little bit into it.
I think the main thing is knowing how to edit, Photoshop, that kind of shit. Because if you don't know that,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
especially if you're doing video and stuff like that, like knowing how to edit, that helps a lot.
Yeah, I knew how to like edit because like in high school, in Farmington municipal schools, they had laptops in classes. And so, like, I learned how to use, like, GarageBand and stuff then. So I've always been comfortable at least.
Yeah, GarageBand's nice. It's a nice...
That's
I'm not a fucking Apple guy. I'm
Sure.
a PC guy, but they have really good, like, software and equipment. As far as if you're a beginner and don't
super
know
user-friendly.
shit, oh, yeah, big time. Bro.
Yeah, it's amazing. And that's... I mean, I don't do a whole lot of editing. I put a song right before and right after, and then I just post it as is. So that's kind of the nice part, you know?
And you've been doing this how long? Because you're on episode 68-ish or 60?
Yeah, episode 68 on Friday, I believe. But yeah, I did a podcast before where, because I coached a local wrestling team, and so
nice.
I did like one where I thought it'd be like about coaching or like sports specific. But there's only so many times you can like ask someone like, how do you motivate people that aren't motivated? It's like there's only so many times you can ask that question. So I only did like 12 episodes of that, and then now I do Escaping Tyranny, where it's way more open. Talk to comedians, talk to whoever. And it's been a lot more fun that way.
Yeah, it seems like comfortable. You have more of a reach of what you can talk about for sure, because you're not going to be talking about like sports and mental health.
Yeah, like just constantly talking about that, like just well, what kept you going, and then like, have you had any injuries? And it's like it was the same question. It was almost the same format every time. So if you listen to one, you probably listen to all of them.
And what was that one called?
That was called Shot Callers. I felt so good about that, and it felt so creative. Yeah, that's cool. That made me feel a lot better that everyone just laughed at that. So
sorry, he's a natural comedian guy.
What was Shot Callers about?
It was just that. It was coaching and like sports and stuff like that.
Oh,
so,
okay, I get it now.
Yeah,
all right.
The shot callers.
So like cool. we had I talked to like 3 of the girls that ended up making like the Olympic team. For like wrestling and stuff, so that was really cool. So I had pretty good guests on, but
all
like
sorts of sports.
Yeah, we did like football, softball. I mean, just an array of different stuff. But yeah, wrestling mainly. That was like my sport growing up.
Oh,
how long is the podcast now that you do? What are the episodes like?
At least an hour.
Okay.
And then like I just recently started recording longer and longer episodes. So it's I used to do it just in an hour, try to keep it like bite sized, which is crazy to say bite sized for an hour. But yeah, we do like 2 hours now, and just kind of however long it goes. I don't try to.
Is it just you or is it?
It's just me, and then I'll have like a guest on and stuff. But if I do it just alone, I try to keep it to 30 minutes. It's kind of weird just to hear your own voice the whole time.
When you do it alone,
yeah.
Yeah. If it was just me, I'd be like keep them really short, but I have Larry to talk to. Or
are you going full blown? Are you going full blown raw? Like just.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, are you putting everything in there?
I know. Like what do you?
Well, you said you edit.
Yeah.
Are you cutting things out?
No, I don't cut anything. I've had so like I'll like put stuff on my Instagram to like ask a question, like first or worst like sex story you've ever had, just like stuff like that, and then I tell everyone I'll keep it anonymous. I said one girl's name one time, so I edited that before I posted it. So like, you know, I'll do something like that, but I don't really edit anything. Cool. Like I said, I'll put a song at the beginning and the song at the end. And
a lot of people don't like going live, and because it's just like once it's out there, that's it.
That's it. Yeah,
that's too much out there. Yeah. Yeah, if we did it, well, sometimes we do recorded. I had even told you schedule, whatever. But even that is not edited. Otherwise, it couldn't be Thinks Out Loud.
Yeah, nothing.
Carla V is edited.
Yeah.
Carla V edited.
And besides podcasts, like the majority of podcasts that are out there that do edit their shit, it's not real life. You know. I
think it's weird when people want that because it's like. It's like putting an Instagram filter on. It's like that's not really you. And I'm like, I say some stupid shit. Don't get me wrong. Like I've said some dumb stuff. So it's like afterwards, I'm like, wow, that's probably shouldn't be out on the internet. But
did you share? I don't know if I've heard the episode with you sharing your wildest like sex story? Can you share that? Or
My wildest sex story?
Did you share on your
I
thing? Since you
have.
say you're like,
yeah.
I'd say some wild stuff.
Yeah,
Let's share. Let's share.
Were you talking about the one I said on stage? I've not said it again. I probably won't say it again. But I was like, that one was like weird. Is that the one you're talking about?
That or
like,
just is there another one that you've said on the podcast that was
like a sex story? Like the
weirdest or
the wildest one was like I was making out with this girl and I had a nosebleed, but I didn't know it was a nosebleed. Like I thought like a booger was about to like come out of my nose, and I was like trying to get it back up, and then like all of a sudden I like look and this poor girl has blood like on her neck and like her chest, and like it was just like puddling, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, this is like a crime scene at this point. I'm like, this is insane. And then like we like went like, cause we had people over. And so we went back out of like my bedroom, and in my mind, I'm like, I will never hear from this girl again. Like whatever. She ended up staying the night, which I was like,
oh, nice.
This is shocking.
In your bloody sheets.
Yeah. And I was like, this is crazy. There's no way this should be happening right now. No. And then like, I ended up like going down on her, and she was just like forcing my head down. I was like, is this revenge? I was like, I don't understand what's going on. I said it on stage one time where I was like, she was like Lenny from Of Mice and Men, just like forcing like my head down. Like I had no control over it. I was like, so that was like a wild sex story, I guess. I was like, that was the most uncomfortable. I was like, it shouldn't have happened, and it still happened.
Now you know how girls feel when they start their periods during sex.
Yeah, I was like, I will never like complain about that ever. Like that is just so hypocritical. Like, why would I? Oh my gosh! And the girl was a champ, like just a total champ.
Awesome.
She's like, it's all good, and I'm like, what? Why though? Like, I would have bailed for sure. If you had a bloody nose on me, like, I think I'm way more comfortable with like period blood than like a bloody nose.
Are you afraid of blood?
I've heard of people going down in the dark.
And then like they're like, wow, it's like,
boy, that dude tastes like a penny.
I'm good at this shit, dude. She's fucking wet. You're like, you're not that good, bro. I promise you.
She's bleeding.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that tastes bad.
It's not Kool-Aid mouth.
Yeah, that's a little terrifying. A little bit. I mean, that's like, especially if it's like a one-night stand or some chick that you haven't been with, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Anyone's like blood, right? Like,
but I feel bad. I don't go. Some guys, I'm sure, just like disgusting bitch, or whatever.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm not that dude.
I think
I'm a helper. I'd help.
I know.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Let's go take a shower.
Like some guys are like super weird about like just any girl function. Like I have a buddy who, if he's watching this right now, Matt Bose, cheers. But like he like still doesn't think about like, he doesn't like the thought of like girls pooping.
Yeah.
He's like, girls don't poop, and like will cover his. And I'm like, what? Like, and one of my buddies was like, what would you rather them do? Like, what is the alternative there? Like, they're just not gonna poop. Like, they're just gonna like sweat it out. Yeah, I'm like,
sweat it out.
I'm like, that is so unrealistic.
My gosh. I think did I tell like on yours a little bit? Yeah, just.
See, this is the shit, and like this is like my favorite topic. I'm
was it
having fun with this.
On or off the podcast? I don't know about the vomiting. Poop, how I was afraid. Was it you?
I don't know. Pretty disgusting.
Yeah, I was
heard this one.
afraid of when I was a kid of being nauseous. Like, and how do I say this? I would vomit more, and even when I get nauseous now, I more go towards vomiting than try to sit on the toilet because I was afraid as a kid. Opposite. Well, as a kid, I thought that if I would let my nausea form into poop, then if I threw up, I would throw up poop because in my head that's how biology worked. Because I thought,
but then you still wanted to like throw up.
But I would do it before I got too before I thought I was going to digest. So I would just like throw up automatically when I felt nauseous because I was like afraid of throwing up poop. And then my friend's dog eats poop a lot, and she did that recently where she ate, I think maybe her own poop and then threw up poop.
Oh. That's a fun story. What's the name of the podcast?
Escaping Tyranny. So my name's spelled Tierney, but like I've had so many people through my life like, oh, do you know that means like, and so that's how it's spelled, is escaping like tyranny, like a tyrant.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, Carla's rocking my gear right now. Actually, I'm super pumped about that.
A shirt.
Yeah, we're gonna have shirts here pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, I talked to Zoe, and she's gonna do 3 designs.
Oh, nice.
In the next like couple weeks and show, and then I'll be able to like choose which one then to like use, and maybe later use another one.
I'll just factor them, and then we can send them.
So this is the Escaping Tyranny shirt. And what does it say down here?
It says Revival Crew. I had like my laptop and microphone stolen when I was in Vegas. So like I had the shirts to sell to kind of recoup some of that, which I wanted to make shirts, and it was just like it was perfect timing.
So escaping tyranny with a TY, right?
Tyranny. I've never actually had to spell it out loud
I listen
before.
on Spotify, but it's on Apple, right?
Yeah, I have it on everything, I believe. I was about to say, yeah, Matthew Bose is right there. I see that. That was one.
Where are you at? Right here? This is you?
Yeah. I was like, well, yeah, Matthew Bose is a buddy of mine.
But this is you? Escaping tyranny?
Mm-hmm.
And do you keep
How
it?
come you don't have it on your Facebook or...
So
what the
He's
fuck?
a separate account.
it's weird.
Like if I would have known this shit, I would have
Sure.
put it in the description and people could have went to it.
That's on me at that point. I apologize.
I thought I sent you his other stuff though. I thought I sent you both his profiles because he has an Instagram for escaping.
No,
Tyranny.
you don't send me anything.
I try to just keep
I tagged
it like
him
separate.
and stuff.
It's
I tagged him in 2 weeks ago's post. I tagged both
2 weeks ago?
on the snow and today's and all of
2
that.
weeks ago?
Well, when you made that flyer, I sent you all his info.
That was 2 weeks ago. I got the
Larry
flyer.
is old. He can't remember past yesterday.
I try to keep that all like separate though.
How
like,
does all this
in your
tech knowledge
defense.
stay in his head?
Yeah.
2 weeks
Dude,
ago.
Have you seen all this? Like Larry keeps up with a lot. Like this
No,
is sick.
he's cooler than I will ever be. He's just up on the future. Larry is the future, guys. Yeah, he was. Tierney was all
It's on
excited to meet
Apple,
Larry.
Because I
Yeah.
don't like that. I don't know what the fuck's up with that site, but it's not good.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
There we go.
On Vox.
There we go.
Interesting. But yeah,
That's
I was
on
like,
that.
You can find me on
Do you-
Spotify. You can find me on Apple Podcast. I think Google Podcast. I think that one's on there as well.
What's your? Do you do it every Friday or what's your?
So like my thought this year is I would try to keep to every Monday. And then like just last week, I was traveling to Phoenix and stuff to see family, and I just didn't have an episode for Monday, and then I didn't want to like sit on this episode for too long. I was like, let's get it Friday. I'll be
Yeah.
on there Wednesday. Let's have a quicker turnaround. So
Nice. Yeah.
I try to get to 2 a week, but
I'm sure this isn't
promotion.
the platform they want to watch it on. Probably Apple Podcasts or something. But
yeah.
So was there something, because you started podcasting before comedy, so was there something that made you want to start podcasting, or a certain podcast or certain?
Yeah, I listened to the Pat McAfee show pretty
Okay.
like religiously. I love his like sports podcast, so I listen to that, and then I listen to like Joe Rogan. I'll listen to, which I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, there's
No,
some
you're
people.
fine.
I
That's
listen
that's
to
a
Neil
love.
Young, so I don't know.
Yeah, you can't listen to both, right? Apparently, but no, like I listened to that, and then I just enjoy podcasts, so I was like, oh, I enjoy it so much, like I should make one. And then I think that's pretty much everyone's like thought process, right? Like,
Yeah.
I love a podcast, like I'll make one. So, and then yeah, like I just decided to do like a sports one with my roommate at the time, Andre LaRossi, shout out.
Andre.
But yeah, it was fun to do. I liked doing the sports stuff, and then yeah, you got 12 episodes in, and it's like we're asking the same shit, and I would still like to have the same guests, but just talk instead of just I was so sports focused, and it's like you get too much into one niche, and it's like it's not as fun, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Your whole world is just revolved around there, and then
Yeah.
you gotta expand a little bit. Even with comedy, I'm out every night at comedy a lot, so it's like I try to do other adventures that aren't just comedy, or I have my non-comedian friends I still will hang out with to be like, I need to change. I love it, but you have to keep. And then what are you gonna write jokes about if you're not doing the same thing with the same
Exactly.
people every single night? It's like hard to
Are we just gonna,
get
like-
new stuff to
so
write
many
about.
jokes about the garage.
Yeah, you can only talk about the garage so many times.
I've heard about the garage though. I need to go
you
because
should
that
come.
sounds super sick. Like it like to me, it sounds like a super tight knit like club, and it's like like maybe I'll
You're
get invited
welcome.
one time.
No, I think anybody's
welcome.
invited, bro.
And that's the thing is like
Yeah.
everyone has said that,
And it's
like,
not
all right,
even
cool.
just comedian. I mean, if you're like a friend of a comedian, you can come. But
Sure.
if you're a comedian, for sure, you're definitely welcome.
Yeah, it doesn't. How do I say this? I'm just murmuring at this point. It's not as exclusive as I made it out in my own head.
I think it was for a while
It
Got
was in the
it.
beginning because of
the COVID
shit.
stuff.
That makes sense.
It was like 8 to 10 or maybe of us for a minute.
Sure.
And then slowly vaccines started coming out. We started opening up a little more, and then just like a little more. But now it's there's kind of a rotating crew that comes through. It's not the
Sure.
same people every single week. I mean, I'm there and William's there because we
Yeah.
have no choice. We live there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you're welcome. I'm inviting you officially.
Sweet.
But yeah, so your plan through when you started podcast, you had already wanted to do comedy at this point, like try to
Yeah,
stand up,
I
or
think,
where did that come in?
I think think I've always wanted to try it to some degree. Public speaking has never scared me. Like I don't get incredibly nervous or anything like that. But you know, I think I've always wanted to, and you know, I think I'm funny. I like to write. I like the way I can put like words together and stuff. So I think at that point I always wanted to, but it was kind of a pipe dream or something. It always seems like so like, oh, that's what those people do. I can't do it. And then I finally was like, well, if I just look up an open mic, like they can't turn down people at an open mic, right? I guess they could, but
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So
They can't
there's
kick you
a
off.
couple people that have been banned from open mics.
really,
They kick you off. Yeah.
is it just like super offensive like topics?
Oh
or-
yeah, like rape shit.
Oh
Yeah, or and also being like a bad sport about it and not understanding, or you know, some sort of phobic joke of something that's not okay when you're at an LGBTQ bar and they're like, nah, you're not allowed here.
Yeah.
anymore. And we have 2 mics at like LGBTQ spots.
Right.
Were these like jokes that were out to hurt, or was
No, one was even Troy Wilson. I'll just say
Troy
it.
gets banned.
He
from
doesn't
everything.
care, but he can't go to Sidewinders because he has a joke about like a car transmission, but he says tranny in it, but it turns out to be a car transmission. But at the beginning, your mind is like the audience. If your brain goes to there, then that's on you.
Why is that offensive?
Yeah.
It's not. It's a car joke.
I know, but why is I mean, the word trans is still used. Why is tranny offensive? I don't get it.
Everybody's waving the flag. I'm not saying there's not transphobic things and there's not whatever, but pick your battles, people.
Yeah.
Like and no context, and I think that's a lot of what's missing in like the era right now. Like everybody's just a little bit maybe on the spectrum or something and doesn't understand emotions and context and things.
Well, and like we had this conversation yesterday. I think everything is on limits to an extent, right? Like I don't think people should just go up and like just flaunt like the N-word or something like that.
Right, yeah.
But if you write a joke and it's funny, then it's funny. You know what I mean? I don't know if
Are you condoning the N-word?
I apologize. I'm getting
You're
a phone call for no reason here. But yeah, no, I'm not
Answer
condoning the
it.
N-word, but at the same time, it's like if you write a funny joke and it's well written, and usually when they're that well written, they're not that offensive. Like it's poking fun at like the other side. It feels like almost.
So what are you saying?
Not like with it, but certain words I can see. I mean, there's certain even like racial slurs. Not even like that people say, but if you say them in the correct way, in a smart, funny way, that isn't against them, but just involving kind of thing. I think.
Yeah, I think that it's like it's
Is that
almost.
what you're kinda...
Yeah, it's like as long as something is well written and you are funny. Like funny gets a pass. Like people write fucked up shit all the time.
I disagree with that.
What do you mean?
That funny gets a pass?
Like
what do you mean exactly?
Like Dave Chappelle had some stuff, and granted that's not for everyone, but in my mind it's like
in that way we're saying if you're smart and not saying it like, we're
you're not
just
just
saying
like
this.
you're not just like attacking it.
No, and you're saying it as
right.
like, hey, this shouldn't be said, or like almost saying don't say this in a sense, you know, like not like, hey, I'm getting away with saying this. And there are those comedians who try to just get away
honestly,
with it.
I don't think there is a line when it comes to comedy.
Sure.
A line?
There's no line.
At all?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess in the people, if you want to listen,
because
listen.
as comedians, you guys are it's just like when you're writing. You don't take your first draft and fucking send it out there.
Yeah.
And the only way you guys can perform your craft is in front of an audience. If you don't have a fucking audience, I mean, you're not getting anything back. So you have to work that material out that way.
That's like the weird
and
part.
sometimes things go left.
Yeah, things
just like in any fucking job.
Things drop off quick.
You know.
Well, that's like the weird part, right? Is like, is there anything else like comedy that like, if you don't perform it, you don't know. Like I've had stuff where I'm like, in my mind, that's so funny. It's so funny. It's so good. And then I get up and say it, and I'm like, that sucked. Like that was not funny at all. Actually.
Yeah, and vice versa, where you think something is really cheesy or kind of silly, and you like say, and you're like, how is that? Like, how's that stuff they love?
And that got the biggest pop. You're like, okay, like.
And I think that any comedian that's standing out in the audience, listening to another comedian going left on a bad whatever, should understand that they're just working it out.
Yeah.
It's not like
it's usually the audience that gets the comedians the audience sometimes gets like a little sour. I don't think they like turn, but a lot of times they'll just like, or people have left comment cards on things. And
you've had
like
some...
Neil Rubenstein said somebody left like a comment card of saying he was like something phobic or something.
He is. I'm just kidding.
No, that he was like fat
He's
phobic.
something phobic.
That he was like fat phobic and this and that. He's like, but I'm fat. Like, what is she talking about? Or like, and like Jew phobic or like, and he's like, but I'm Jewish. Like, what is she talking about?
Yeah. Oh, dude, go see Jess Wood's fucking set then if you're thinking offensiveness.
Yeah. And that's
But
the
she
thing.
does
Though,
it in
like,
a great.
Jews. Yeah, exactly.
She does it in a funny, good way. Yeah.
I think that's my point. Is
and
like
she's Jewish.
She
But she
says
does
something
it.
that's really well written. It's funny. It's like, all right, like
she's been in the game a long time.
Yeah, she's crushing it. Like she's awesome.
She knows how to use the words right in a good divisive way instead of like in a shock and awe. Like still funny. It's like at the end of the day. So you're okay. So going back to you starting comedy, then you started about. Oh, we talked like almost a year.
Yeah, like close to like May, I think. Is like the first time I went up, and maybe early June was like the first time I had like 5 full minutes. The first time I went up, I had 3 jokes. I think they all got laughs, but it was so short lived, and I think I like may have blacked out. It was like it's weird. I've never been worried about. Yeah, I've never worried about speaking in front of people, but comedy, I was like, I care so much about it that I was just like, I hope this is funny. I was so nervous, and I think people laughed.
You might like dissociated a little bit. Like, I don't know, my body left my soul.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
All of that. Yeah, I mean, you did well. I was there, I think, your second time. And you were funny, and I thought you had been doing it longer. Yeah. Because you do seem, he is a good writer. I will say that, Larry. He was in one roast battle recently that he won, and that's already terrifying to do a roast battle. Yeah. I've been in 2-something years and barely about to do one for you to do like.
It's wild. I did that just to push my comfort zone, and I definitely stressed over that more than I stressed over like doing 5 full minutes. Mm-hmm. That was intense, and I kind of echo the same thing that like Jared said, is that I'm not naturally a mean person, so I don't like to attack anyone, but I did like the process of trying to write like one-liners for this guy.
Well, that's how Jared gets bitches. Come on.
Jared is funny, dude. If that's how it works, I need to hang out with Jared more.
He's taking, even my sister, not to blast her out, but she was like, he's such a nice, cute young kid or whatever. Like, try not. She's like 40 or something. But he's like 20. But I was like, yeah. His friends are always like, Tyler's so hot. And Tyler gets all the bitch. I'm like, Jared didn't have a fiance. He would get some ladies, you know?
I still don't get the Pete Davidson reference.
He kind of has the like energy of him, I think, is the thing. And they're both like tall, lanky dudes and pale and vaguely ethnic.
I think he's just using Pete Davidson because of the big cock.
Vaguely ethnic. No, we didn't find out about the big cock until after they were already calling Tyler Pete Davidson.
Does Tyler have?
We didn't find out.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying on Pete
where he's
Davidson,
like, I got a big cock, and I get bitches,
cock,
and he gets bitches.
I was about to say, are we saying Tyler's got a piece on him? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm saying no.
Well,
Davidson
I'm like good for that. I'm like
he might. I might have insider information.
I'm like Pete Davidson.
Oh, okay.
I've got a big cock.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
You know.
I don't know. I don't understand when guys do that too.
But yeah,
like, I got a massive hog, and then like you pull out like 2 inches. It's like that's so over promising and under delivering. Like
why would
bad
somebody
sales.
want to do that? It's like the same thing as like a big truck.
Yeah, I don't know. Just overcompensating. I guess I don't know.
Like, I got it. Is it like that? Yeah, reverse psychology. Like if I say this enough, they'll think. Or no, that.
Or maybe if like
brainwashing.
I say it enough, I'll believe it. It's like.
Oh yeah, maybe
I don't
it's
know.
Self-confidence.
I don't get it personally, but I don't know.
No, I think he says it because he's telling chicks he's got a big cock. And...
Yeah, maybe Ariana Grande said it first.
Yeah, I know. That was a long time ago.
But she's tiny, so I think anything to her is probably big.
It's always those skinny, lanky dudes.
It is. Awesome. That's what I'm saying. It's the tall, skinny, lanky dudes. Any like race. Right. And really, penis size doesn't have to do with like your race at all. It's just.
I had a chick tell me that.
It's not.
She was like, "Not all black guys have big dicks."
No, and not all Asians have smalls, and not all like everybody is across the board. I even asked my sister, Mr. McMasters, and she's like, "No, it doesn't really have to do with race at all."
McMasters.
Yeah, Mr. McMasters, Geneva. Anyway, back to comedy. We digress.
I'm enjoying all of this,
Riding,
actually.
right.
We talked about poop and cocks in one
We've
conversation.
talked
I'm a
about-
big
yeah.
fan. This is my podcast. All of a
Bleeding
sudden.
on ladies.
Yeah, exactly.
Ladies bleeding on you. This is
I just need a
fire.
recording of this, and I'll just put this on my podcast now.
There
This
we
fits
go.
perfectly.
There we go. We'll just pretend that this is with yours. We'll just like lump
Yeah,
it into
exactly.
two. Part 1, part 2. Oh, Snowy's here with us, the doggy. While we're on a wild stretch, since we're just like before we get back to real things, can we play that video from our wild friend on? So I don't know if the Jake
talking about
Gotero
Holly?
one.
Holly?
Oh, Holly, we found out her name. She took down the video though.
Of her mom?
Update. I was looking and looking.
I think I downloaded
and I'm
it.
pretty sure the video is gone.
She can't get away with this.
Because you did
I
send
have
it
this
to
video
me,
forever now.
and I was searching on that and could not find
No,
it.
I think I downloaded it.
So her mom shows up at one point, but she just throws out outlandish things all the time. The other day she was like, "I'm blind. How are you gonna be mad at me because I beat up my boyfriend?
Yep,
I
I
don't
got
even
it.
know what's going on because I'm blind." And she's not blind.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "They killed me."
No,
You
she
say
keeps
killed me.
talking
It's
about
like,
tax returns that she didn't get 2
yeah,
years ago.
she's talking about people took her money, and then there was another one where she was like, "I think everybody should give me my money, but also women should make money because all males are not alpha anymore; they're all betas. So now women got to make the money." And she's like, "Yeah, so give me my money." And then I was like, "That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, you got to make that money, girl. I guess." Yeah. So Holly, this one was just funny recently.
This is not what I anticipated her looking like.
Oh yeah, you only heard her.
Yeah, she's.
You can. Yeah.
So what we
Sometimes she's cute.
surmised, yeah, she's
Like
not.
she has this long hair that she like kind of has over her eyes sometimes, and
Yeah.
like kind of like old school maybe era of like mid 90s chick,
So this
but-
is the.
but she's kind of angry.
I'm not gonna cut
Yeah.
this down.
This one was
Should.
just outlandish to me, and that's why I sent it because it's kind of off of cuff of even the stuff she says. She makes no sense. I Wonder Woman.
All right, ready?
Again, we're not making fun. We're just
Yeah,
curious
we're not
about
making
her.
fun. We're very curious.
Yes.
Dogs sniff
Wait,
crotch.
Hold on.
I just thought of something. Is the reason why dogs sniff crotches
Oh, my bad.
because y'all humans have like molested dogs and conditioned them to lick peanut butter and other shit off of women's crotches?
I saw this one. I was like, what
Is
the
that why dogs do that?
And then the end is just.
What the fuck are y'all doing here?
Peanut
I came here to run a fucking
Oh wait,
errand.
pause it.
All right, let me pause it. Do you want me to go back a little bit?
Yeah, she's saying what? Yeah, was it dogs like peanut butter?
I mean, but she said like women's parts, right? Like I did hear that correctly.
Yeah.
like peanut butter in the women's vagina.
That's
Yeah.
it's so weird because like I've heard it for the guy's perspective, but
Yeah.
why would?
I don't know. She's wild.
Because then like there was leftovers on a guy and then it like went in. Like is that what
Can you
we're
imagine
talking
what
about?
she's
No.
like in bed?
She's.
I
That's why I'm saying, did people do this to her? Is that she thinks this is normal? It's like all they do is just slathering her pussy up with like peanut butter. Like, what are we?
Well, let's
KY makes a
Like-
peanut butter like.
Oh, and
Bro, I came here to run a fucking errand.
I'm sorry.
And it's like every time I run a fucking errand, I pick up a new fucking job. Can y'all bitches get to work? Thank you. I just thought of...
Is it?
yeah, that's
is
the
this-
same video. She talks about the poop thing too. I just got
How
a
many
job.
followers does this lady have?
Like,
Not many.
Ten.
she
Not
can't-
many.
She can't. Well, that's
you can't
the-
claim it's a bit.
nah.
No, it's definitely not.
No,
a
she's-
fucking bit,
Yeah.
and I'll show you.
Yeah,
in a second.
she.
Like
I
no,
think,
she seems crazy. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, if she had like tons of followers, she did one a day. It's like okay, maybe it's a bit, but like that's wild.
She's what Larry sent her to me, and for sure she has mental health issues. But after the mom,
I
yeah.
don't think it's mental health issues.
drugs.
I
think it's
she
both.
used to be a drug addict.
Well, I think it's I think she started doing drugs a little too young. Maybe it kind
Yeah.
of can throw off your brain chemistry a bit.
Sure.
And our mental health system is not great. Sorry, USA, but we're lacking on that.
You know, and that's true too, because back in the 70s, I remember like vague talk about people in insane asylums and that kind of shit,
Oh,
right?
those are awful back then.
But then, was it early 70s, middle 70s, they started releasing all the people out of state mental facilities. So those people are having sex with other people. And then those children are coming out fucked up. I'm sure. I mean, it's isn't it like genetic?
I
it can be, it can be genetic. It could be biological. It can be a mix of everything. Like, your genetics, your surroundings, like all of it. Right, chemistry. I heard TRC, like Truth or Consequences. Somebody was telling me that town is basically started as that they were just dumping people in the desert from like.
Oh wow.
Or that's at least it was a small town, and then they would just dump people off there, and it grew.
Well, that makes
and
sense.
she lived there for a while. And
they used to dump mobster guys in Rio Rancho.
Oh, interesting. We have rich cowboys and mobsters in Rio Rancho.
Well, no, guys that were talking.
Oh, the bad,
here in Arizona, while they were doing the witness protection program shit.
Yeah. Here we have
that's
a lot of mafia
That's
here.
the running joke about Six, because his last name's Bibliano.
There you go.
Like, you motherfucker, your dad's some kind of like secret mafia dude that.
Yeah, we have Italian friends that we say they're in the mafia. Like
Dad probably was.
Well, and Dad has like 5 locks on the screen door and then 10 locks on the main door. Cameras all around the house. You're like, okay, like that's not obvious,
right?
Little overkill.
So you're ready to watch?
I just have cartel family in Mexico. Anyway, so this mom, it got taken down, but Larry has it.
Yeah, I downloaded
the mom shows up,
ago.
And this is how we found out her name.
Yeah,
why do you sit in this room all day?
It's kind of sad.
Because
why don't you get a job?
Because you're crazy.
Oh, because
Because I need a man to protect me, unlike you. I need a man to protect me, and I have no man to protect me.
And you're never going to find one sitting in this room doing nothing. Get yourself out. Get your mind back
every
together.
every time I did have a job.
I don't want to hear about the past.
All you did was have people fucking rob me, and dudes just fucking rob me.
I didn't have anybody rob you. Nobody robbed you of anything, Holly. You're robbing yourself of your life right now. You are robbing yourself of a good life. You're choosing to be depressed and sit here and think about negative shit all day long.
No, I'm not.
You do.
It's so hard to watch.
Yeah,
it's like
and I'm totally feeling the mom on a lot of it, and then the end, I'm like, oh, Mom, don't talk like that to her. Like, if you're trying to help, like this even is just like tough love. Like, but the end is just like, oof.
Like, she doesn't know that like her daughter is saying all this crazy shit about how she wants to kill the family, and
and she'll say it online like she wants to murder everybody.
Yeah,
and, like,
I heard that.
What's up?
She said.
Otherwise, she would not have been in here.
Yeah, I think the mom probably saw this, and I'm wondering if that's why she's had another one taken down or something, and then possibly her mom reported it. Who knows? You know what I mean?
I'm
like,
good in here by myself.
I'm gonna blow somebody up. No, you're not. You're not good in here by yourself. You're getting more depressed by the day.
No, you're the one that drives.
See, that makes my.
It makes
I feel
as a
bad.
parent.
No, yeah,
too.
because like that just would break my heart if my kid was fucking just all fucked up like that. Like, ugh.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Then get out.
With what? Am I supposed to walk the fucking streets with no phone, no fucking money? Because every time I make money, something bad happens to me.
No, nothing bad happens to you.
Could
when
you
make
imagine
money.
employing her though? Like I don't know.
Employing her?
Yeah, like
I think she might be employed.
No, because her mom tells her to go to the. This is just.
But
this
she's
video
always
right here,
wearing this one shirt that looks like an employee shirt from like a bar or something in
And she
Ohio.
doesn't-
I looked it up.
I've been
This is how
around-
deep I'm in this. I
know,
looked up
I've
what
been
this
around
place
drunks
was.
my whole life. She's not slurring her words.
right.
She's not anything really.
Sure.
Now, I have met people that have done drugs, like I told you earlier. I've done everything under the fucking sun, and to the point of like full blown addiction on some of the shit.
Sure.
And I've never like. She's talking normal. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. She's.
I don't get it.
I think it's
This is my sister.
a mix.
Yeah, Patty's got.
Patty
a
said her
sister
sister.
is really fucking.
Kinda-
I've never met her.
And once you get so far gone in that brain that like takes over, it like rewires your brain, and then
You
you
think?
have. In a sense, if you like anything with conspiracy theories, any sort of like something that you're
but she's-
obsessively thinking, if you let your brain go into how she's obsessed with people robbing her, with somebody murdered her, and like they stole my children, all of it, like she's so deep in that thinking that it's probably just rewired her in some capacity
I
at
think.
this point.
I think being like. I think that's meth or something.
Well, and then her mom
Something
does say
brain
something
damaged her.
about drugs, like don't
Holly, you
drugs.
could get a job at this Dollar General right here. It's close enough to walk in any
That
type of
checks
weather.
out.
It's literally right there.
What'd you say?
That checks out. Like Dollar General.
Walking
Dude,
distance right here.
I deal with Dollar Generals all the time, and yeah, like there are several Hollies around this town that work for all at Dollar General. Like, damn, dude.
That's so funny. Oh my God!
I'm like-
Right now in this town, you see who's? I mean, I'm
Well,
so happy. Okay,
Just yesterday, had a dude going down Central stabbing 11 people.
What?
Jeez.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No.
shit? Yeah.
What?
I didn't hear
Was
about
it
that
yesterday?
either.
Well, Sunday.
Yeah, it was on Sunday. He just went around and started stabbing people.
On Central?
Yeah. I mean, not full blown murder stab, but like stab you in the leg, stab you in the arm, that kind of shit.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's like a full moon tonight. Not that one. Whatever.
Okay, then
Shut up,
give me
witch.
your car and you can walk to work.
I don't have to. I've worked to earn my car.
I work to earn all my cars too, and
No, you
guess
didn't.
what,
You used
motherfuckers,
drugs and you didn't put a label on
motherfuckers,
them.
fuck.
What'd she say right there?
I work to earn my cars.
No,
She
something
said-
about using drugs.
Oh,
But guess what,
You used
motherfuckers,
drugs and you didn't put a label on
motherfuckers
them.
fucked
You
all of my cars up
No,
that
they
I
didn't.
worked for.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they
No,
did. It's
they
called
didn't.
gang stalking.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Nobody
it is.
gang-stalked you, Holly.
Yes, it is.
Nobody gang stalked
You are trying.
What do you do at that point? What do you do at this point? I mean, I'm a father of a daughter. What do you literally do at this point? What can you do? Like, there's nothing.
yeah, it's hard. A lot of people, like, they have crisis workers that'll come do wellness checks, but there's not really
Well,
that.
what are they
They'll
gonna
send, like,
do?
exactly. They
There's
can,
not, you're not changing this chick's mind.
against her will, like, honestly, like, I don't know what state, oh, I do know they're in Ohio, but, like, say in Arizona, because I knew the laws there, working in foster care, if things were happening, it was like, you couldn't get somebody on their own free will, you could call the crisis workers, and not every state has these. They'll show up for an hour and assess, and then they can call the cops and do a 5150, and then send them straight to, like, the mental hospital for, like, evaluation.
Why are you calling?
5150.
She needs one, I think. And if you guys don't know, that's like the police call out for a person with mental health issues that
Yeah,
is
but it's
gone
weird.
wild.
It's kind of
Off
weird.
their meds.
You'd think like they'd send out, like back in the day, there'd be dudes in white uniforms coming in a white
I know.
panel van.
Yeah.
Why the cops?
like,
that's
grabbing
just
them.
that just sounds like to
Well,
me.
that's the problem. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah.
That's why they try to have now more of these, like, even legal drug use centers and stuff. Like Oregon
I mean,
has
they
it,
should
and
go
Canada
there
has
They
it.
should go there with the fucking tranquilizer gun, and the dudes in the white suits, and just shoot them with the tranquilizer gun.
just take them.
Sounds like animal control at that
And
point.
now
I mean, what is
kind
it? What
of-
else can it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's the extreme of like, oh, well, we'll just take the cops and take them to jail, and then they're just released
Yeah, and then they're
immediately on the
fucked up
street.
in there, like bad, like
They're bad
getting
in
fucked
there.
with.
And then,
You
or they
know?
end up straight on the streets again or worse, you know? And so, yeah, and each state has like a different thing. And with our healthcare system, the way it
So
is,
she
it's messed
obviously
up.
loves her daughter. Or
She
would-
does, yeah.
Yeah,
Trying to
otherwise
play
she wouldn't be
chess.
saying anything.
You're trying to
just
turn me into a
Why
chess
is she
piece,
moving-
and I'm not a chess
using your
piece.
cars?
I'm not a chess piece.
Yeah, I'm not either. So stop fucking playing with me. You
I'm not
understand?
playing with you.
Well,
Damn.
I'm not playing with you anymore either. You're gonna give me the respect I deserve, or you're gonna get out.
You don't deserve my respect.
I don't.
No.
Okay. Well, then you don't deserve me buying
Because
a
you
cigarette.
keep lying to
You
me.
can bleed in your.
I told
can
you
bleed
once
to
you
death.
start
Did you hear?
once you start telling me the truth, then I'll start.
She's all, you can bleed.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
I'm not getting you shit.
Oh my God. That's where it gets starts turning on.
Bleed in your.
I told
can
you
bleed
once
to
you
death
start
with no tampons.
once you start telling me the truth, then I'll start respecting
I've
you.
never lied to you. I tell you the truth. I can't
Once
help
you
it.
start
You don't
telling
wanna-
me the
I
truth,
can't help it.
then
You don't
I'll
wanna hear
start
the-
respecting
What truth do
you.
you want to hear,
Yeah, what
Holly?
truth?
I want to hear that you tried to turn me into your slave, and
Yeah,
you
that's
and that
it. I
and you
said-
couldn't kill me, so now you're pissed
Holly.
off. You're mad at yourself, and you're taking it out on me because
Please
you could not
explain
kill
to
me.
Please explain to me how you're my slave. You do nothing for me. You do nothing but suck my energy out. That's all you do. How are you a slave? You suck
I'm-
my energy and you make my life worse every day.
Because you had a kid that you didn't want to take care of.
I did take care of you.
No, you didn't.
And I did a great job. I was a great mother, Holly. You're the one that chose
Oh,
to
okay, I
get
don't know about
addicted
all
to
that.
drugs and fuck your life up. Okay?
Why? Because I don't want to have
I'm
sex
also
with
the
random
one that-
people out here in the fucking street.
What the fuck does that
Dude.
got to
It's
do?
all wild. Like,
There's been
What do
like
you
so
do?
many
What would,
turns.
what
in
would
this.
you do?
yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah.
turns.
She doesn't say
I
the
mean,
end. I was like, oh,
I have
mom,
no
no.
clue, man. Like the more and more every day passes, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be a parent. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds insane.
No, it's awesome.
See, that's the thing is like I've heard some like
Larry.
cool shit, but it's like I like my freedom. I like being independent, and like I don't know, at least not right now.
If
Maybe
I
that's
would do
fair.
it,
Yeah, and you're still young. You have some
Yeah.
time.
yeah, if I would have waited, like, cause I have two sets. So I have a 27-year-old.
Okay.
Like I already brought up one kid, and I decided at 40 years old I was going to start over.
Sure.
I'm bringing up a new life, but
see, like my mom.
I wish I would have waited until I was like 35, 40 before I had started.
Yeah, I think that's a good age for guys.
Yeah. My mom had me at 18, and so like she's I don't even 44 right now. So she's 44, so she's just chilling right now. Like she's off doing whatever she wants to do, and
how was she?
And that's a great age.
Awesome.
45.
She is fantastic.
Really?
No, seriously. Like, oh no. Okay, dude. Fucking.
Really?
You don't even know my mom, bro. It's like, no, she's great. If she's watching right now, shout out.
Are they
she's
in
like,
Farmington?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, she's in Farmington. Yeah.
Both are your parents together?
No. That's a whole long backstory, but yeah, my parents are divorced, but they both live in Farmington.
And you have a younger sister.
Yes. Yeah. She's 22 now. 23. Wow.
Bro.
That's insane. I
Yeah,
don't like
goes
it.
fast, dude.
Yeah.
Like my daughter's 11, and it was like yesterday I was fucking holding her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Today, my niece that I helped raise for a couple of years when she was a baby, today she's 16. We're 20 years apart in like one day, basically. She's 16. It's
Let's watch the rest of
crazy.
this. Hold on.
Okay, yeah.
Go.
We're almost done.
Nobody's telling you to have sex with random people. Stop that shit. Nobody's telling you to do that. I'm telling you to get a job at Dollar General. Don't turn that into...
I'm blind.
You're not blind, but I'm about to poke your fucking eyes out and you're gonna be blind. You might as well be. You're useless. You don't do shit else. It's time to... Why do you sit...
Damn it! Like if I was actually blind, like I would take so much offense to that. Like you're useless
There's
otherwise.
a lot of things that
She
she's
says she's
said.
been murdered and
Yeah.
that she's also deaf because she can't hear her soulmate from across the universe.
Oh my god.
And she's blind. But right here, did you ever watch Anchorman 2?
I did. I hated it, but yeah.
The second, give it some time. It comes back around. But there's, not that I like love it, but there's one where he goes blind and he's just like eating weird things. They're like, I didn't know what it was. I'm blind. I'm blind. She's now like him. I'm blind. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Well, okay, I hate to say use the word crazy, but yeah, see what I mean? Like at the first,
No,
I was like,
she
yeah,
is
mom, tough
fucking
love,
crazy.
and then at the end, the mom's just like, you can bleed to death from no tampons. I'm like, maybe it's outlandish.
Yeah.
You saying outlandish things that makes her add to the fuel, you know?
Yeah.
Not add to it, but like her brain maybe is able to make up
that
weird
definitely
connections.
came up on a video after where she's like, and I'll just bleed to death. It's like it sounds like some shit she would say afterwards.
Yeah, she has said some crazy stuff recently.
Did you ever get any recordings of the new chick?
The new lady, I couldn't send them, it seemed, or download. I don't know.
So like,
It's
are
giving
you
me
on
issues.
TikTok?
He got banned from this other
so,
lady.
Like, do you like videos when you go through, or do you just like keep scrolling?
No, depending, like I told you, I started interacting with the second crazy chick, just to try and
see if it works.
find out where, because she also lives with her mom, this other second crazy lady, but also to kind of like, I don't know, I'm just so interested into like what went wrong.
Well, it's so funny because like,
And how can you get back from that?
I wish like I could go back to not having a TikTok to re-download it and not like anything. Like I have my roommate, if he's watching, shout out. He doesn't like anything, so his algorithm. He doesn't have an algorithm. Like he gets like prisoner TikTok.
Well, you can
He'll
switch
get all
it.
sorts of shit.
You can switch the algorithm.
You'll have to show me how to do that.
Well, all you do is just search for a new thing. Like,
okay. It's like
you
start
know,
just searching down the rabbit hole.
Well, I wasn't searching for crazy people, but once I got the first crazy chick, then
Now it just
more
keeps-
crazy. Like, I was like,
Yeah,
what? I even told
That's
Patty,
awesome.
I was like, what the hell are all these crazy chicks doing?
Yeah, they just keep coming up.
Yeah, like what the hell? And like
Oh my
amputee,
gosh.
like I was really, you know, like for I don't know, we were talking about amputees or something on the other show, and so my algorithm started showing a bunch of amputees and shit. And
I'm waiting because I swear like it's gonna pop up now. Amputees are gonna start popping up on my For You page.
well, especially if they just heard us
Just
say
because we
that.
said
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah, all
It's
sorts of
fucking
stuff
funny.
pops out like crazy. Yeah, it won't. It can just says it doesn't even give me an option to download. Just a copy link.
You don't know how to do that. If you go, you know the little arrow thing
Did it.
that goes up, and then there's a little arrow pointing down with a line, and then you download that into your phone.
Do I have that option, Tierney?
Some videos
She
don't
doesn't.
have it.
Yeah,
No,
she doesn't have that
I
option.
tried it
this
on a
one.
couple of videos, and yeah, I don't have that. It just has a copy link.
Yeah, some
Or
videos
send
don't
to.
have it.
No, it doesn't have on that one.
This lady's wild too. She was out like on the streets, just like oh, that vehicle keeps passing by. Oh, this and that. I called the cops, but now they're after me. And like, don't believe what you see. And then talk about some mayor. Oh no, the sheriff. The chief of police is somehow crooked and.
Her ex-husband knew him or something.
Yeah, they used to smoke ganja in the garage together and things.
Jesus.
But yeah, I'm just interested in what gets people back from
yeah, I wonder if because I've had some friends that have done acid back in the, I want to say middle 90s to late 90s, and they didn't they got fucked up. And didn't come back. Yeah, not fucked up, but different.
I feel like you used to hear about that more than you do now. I know it happens, but I used to always just hear when I was younger, I was like, acid or LSD is gonna mess you up bad, and I'm sure it still does, but I don't.
You think it's research, like people actually can do research and know what's going on with it?
The brain, I doubt it, dude. The brain is so crazy.
Yeah.
And then people even, I mean, they don't honestly don't even sometimes care if they're at that level what they're doing, if it's pure, especially like meth or something like that. They're just like, I'm not testing my drugs. I'm just gonna take this, or like I'm just go.
Yeah. The only time psychosis becomes involved with meth is doing it all the time, and then being up for days on end. That kind of shit. That'll put you into a psychosis. But
yeah, because the lack of sleep is like really fucks with you.
You see the people nodding out on the street. That's all fentanyl shit. They're not. They're not psychotic. They're just fucking drug addicts.
Nodding off.
But
have you ever tried? Are you drugs? Anything?
I've smoked weed like a handful of times. I wasn't like super adventurous. Like I remember at like 16, I wanted to try ecstasy. Because I just thought it looked cool. Like, I liked the thought of, like, partying. I liked the thought of, like, going to raves and stuff. And then I got to,
sexualize it. That's what makes it so attractive.
Yeah, I think
you're going to get bitches if you take it.
You know what? The other thing, too, is, like, everyone loved Adderall. Like, they made it seem like you were, like, Bradley Cooper in Limitless. It's like,
I missed that Adderall stage.
Unfortunately, did not.
Yeah, I never did that.
You called it Ritalin.
Yeah, Ritalin, and then it was like Adderall, and then
so I never took that stuff. I never liked it, but
yeah,
crank took it once. Took it once. Went to the hospital.
Yeah.
What, Adderall? Yeah.
Because I was like had a night job and was like hadn't really slept, and my friend like has one. I was like, I gotta do my graveyard shift, and took some, and I passed out at work. But later I found out I have like a heart issue and things and whatever, and that makes more sense.
So you've never been like into crank or fucking
upper stuff. I don't like it. Makes me like my heart and stuff feel very weird, and I feel like anxious and like I don't like it. I mean, maybe that's what people like about it. They're just like like
well, back in the day it was not as
I've tried a lot of things
now. You know that.
Yeah, it's been cut down a bunch.
No, it's more intense. Like
now it is.
Yeah, the glass and all that shit. It's just more. You stay up longer on less.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to have like bathtub crank. They used to call it carpet crank. You know, and what is it called? Carpet crank.
Why?
For? Oh, we take a piece of carpet and we throw it in. No, you don't.
Basically saying everything's in it.
Yeah,
that's wild.
That's what they're saying.
Good for you. When did you start drinking? That's
good for you.
Good for him for missing the good for you for not throwing in the carpet and the bathtub sink with everything.
Yeah, and like I don't really know why. I mean, I just never did. But like, I mean, I drink and I like the thought of like being drunk. I like being buzzed. That's fun to me.
Ryan says Adderall kicks ass.
Corcoran?
Ryan, is that your friend?
Yeah, it's my buddy. Adderall kicks ass, he says.
Kicked my ass into the hospital. They thought I was trying to like overdose or something. I was like, I took one little pill.
That dude's not a comedian, but needs to be. He is so funny. Right. I need to have him on. He's been on the podcast twice. He's fantastic.
I don't think I haven't heard that episode. Yeah. Is he does he come out to mics and like hang when you do?
He hasn't. He lives in California, and I had like I have a new rule for 2022. I'm not going to invite my buddies to like open mics. If I get on a show, then I'll invite people to kind of
You don't even want to do that, dude.
Don't even want to do that? Why is that?
Yeah, my friends don't come out.
Yeah, it's family and friends. It'll fuck you up.
See, like, and that was the thing is like I was inviting friends to every open mic.
Unless they sit in the back and they don't tell you they're there. That's different.
The first open mic I went to was Founders, and then Royal told me, I remember afterwards because I had like 4 friends there, and Royal goes like, hey, it's nice you came to support. He's like, if you keep this up, he's like, if she stays this funny, you guys aren't going to be her friends anymore. Or no, he said, you guys won't be coming out to Mike's anymore. And I was like, what? And he's like, because it just takes over. And like friends are just like, I'm over it. Like,
said,
I don't.
He said
he's
something
like, I'm
similar
just,
to me
yeah,
as well.
he's like, they're like, we get it. Okay. But
Yeah,
Well,
I heard the same joke 5 times.
Well,
already.
that's the thing is like I constantly say the same.
Well,
shit
because you're
over
working
and
it
over.
out.
Yeah, and you know my roommate is the most supportive. Like he's been to, I don't know, 90% of the open mics I've been to, and then the one show I did, but everything I said, he's heard everything. So
and he loves comedy too, I imagine. So
I don't even know.
likes chilling.
He's a good friend of mine, so I don't know if that's why or if he really does enjoy comedy that much. I don't know.
Was he the one that took the picture of us?
Yeah,
That roommate?
yeah.
Okay.
That's my boy.
With a really cute dog. Of course,
Yeah.
that dog loved me too. But I think that
Of course, all
dog was
the
super
animals love
friendly.
Carla. She's like
Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
He's like respect you.
Dr.
He'll like
Dolittle.
jump all over like our guests and stuff, and like he was just well mannered. So you're the dog whisperer, apparently.
Yeah, he was just like kind of following me around all cute. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just like animals, like I told you guys. So next week, we're not ending this. I just want to, well, it's on my brain. Tomorrow is my birthday.
Yeah.
Happy
Oh
birthday.
God, we were gonna put up streamers and shit. And
Aww.
so no, don't because it didn't happen.
But in my brain, the thought of
Yeah,
that
it
you
already
guys do,
happened, yeah.
I'm almost happier that you shared that and didn't go through the effort because it was like the
Yeah, we'd have been
thought
sitting
that
there. Where
counts.
is this bitch?
They thought that.
like we're waiting on somebody for a surprise party.
I'm
you know?
Elizabeth. I'm like Elizabeth Taylor. I'm late to my own funeral. Even that's what she put in her will. Is like she wanted to be 15 minutes late to her own funeral.
There you go.
Because
Wow.
she's never early to anything. No. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I'm going to the zoo tomorrow. Gonna do some mushrooms. Got those in a wild way today as well.
Yeah.
Do you know when the world, except for the traffic, things just like manifest in a weird way where you're like, just bring something up to somebody and they're like,
Yeah.
I know the exact thing, or I have that right here.
Yeah.
I was like, I still need to get mushrooms in the morning, and this dude didn't hit me back, blah, blah. He's like, I might know somebody. And he goes, hold on. I thought he was grabbing his phone, my brunch date. And he just like pulls out a baggie of mushrooms and tosses them across the like bench at me. And I'm like, okay.
I thought you knew somebody. I didn't know you were somebody.
Yeah. He was like, I might know somebody. But then he was like, oh, wait. And I thought he was grabbing his phone, but no, it was mushrooms. He had them on him in his jacket, and it was like weird. It's like Mary Poppins. No. I'm gonna be like Mary Poppins that one scene tomorrow where it turns all like animated and shit. So I'm gonna go see the hippos. And then next week we're gonna have a solo episode, and we'll talk about that and a lot more coming up, and we'll share some more stuff. I'll call people. So no guests next week. All of that. Listen to me Friday. Back to comment. No, just back to ASMR talking. Like it's snowing to
that
stare in
shit,
my
dude.
eye. I think
I
I
don't
want to
understand that shit
do.
at all.
I really want to do voiceover for like commercials with pills.
Oh yeah.
Like I hate the pharmaceutical companies, but I really want to do
You
the
could be a
voice
good
for.
NPR fucking
Yeah.
radio host person.
What was one the other day?
You and Sarah Kennedy.
Tremfya. Yeah, me and Sarah. It sounded like those one, whatever their faces from SNL.
Yeah.
Tremfya may cause this. Will also enlighten your mood.
You should do Alexa.
Nusenda. It's a bank, but it sounds like a
Put your voice
pill.
on
Yeah.
TikTok. You know those ones where they put the text and then the voice talks?
Oh,
There
I
you
can make
go.
it robotic too because everybody likes that fucking trend. Are you
Yeah,
into
so
that?
many people
Do
love
you
that.
do the TikTok?
I love TikTok.
I
That's
just
my favorite.
recently have been TikToked, but
Yeah, it's the first time I ever downloaded it, I was on there for like 4 straight hours. I was like, this is not okay. And I never deleted it.
yeah, it cost. Did I even tell you this, Larry, that it cost me 350 voice recordings?
What?
So I was trying to move stuff around my phone to like clear space and whatever, and I didn't realize that one of the things marked was my my audio recorder,
Okay.
and it to install TikTok in this one other app, it erased some other stuff that I had chosen, and it had chosen that, and it erased 350 audio recordings of my comedy of the last 2 years. And a lot of them, like, I'd say half of them I've listened back through, but a lot of them were not listened back through, and they're gone. I have like 10 now because I re-downloaded that app, and my heart for a minute, I was like, in my truck, and I was just like, oh, I want to throw something, but I'm in my truck. And then I was just like, it's fine. Start over, write better jokes. You were there. You lived it. It's somewhere in your brain.
Where do you keep do you like physically write stuff down or do you type it down? Like how do you write?
Yes, both.
Okay.
So I have so many like endless and this in my notepad,
Yeah.
I'll just like show you one. They all say entitled. I need to like whatever those. But even like this one.
Oh, so you
like
have like
this
even
one,
separate notes.
Yeah, where like that's just even just premises of things. But I have so many of like those where it's just. Oh,
See, I just have like one continuous note that just says like stand up. Like,
I have to let it get to a certain point because then otherwise it's
so much.
You can't find your spot.
That's
there,
fair. That's completely
that makes
fair.
Sense. So
Shannon wants to know.
Hi, Shannon.
Ask about the flat earther being a flat earther.
Wait.
Are you really?
I'm not really a flat earther.
Okay.
I was about to say.
Are you
love
obsessed with
that.
flat earthers?
Oh, I think it's so funny.
Have you heard the thing where they say that the reason? Because I've been not around the world, but I've been to different countries and shit. And when you go to Japan, they make you go up to Alaska and then back down to Japan. And I seen a video where they were saying the reason why they do that is because it's actually really a straight line because Alaska's down.
Yeah, there's a documentary
Oh
on
my God.
Netflix. It's like The Truth Behind the Curve or something like that. And I watched that whole thing and I laughed so hard for most of it. I was like, this is
I need
insane.
to watch it then.
Yeah, and then they have like the first ever conference in that like documentary, and then at the very end, like not to give it away, they conduct an experiment. And it backfires on them, and then just cuts the credit. And at that moment, I got on Amazon, I bought a Flat Earth Society shirt, and I think it's the funniest thing ever. I've had people come up to me.
Of it.
Oh yeah, I've had people come up to me. Like there was one dude just at the airport the other day, which I realized after I got there, people were like looking at me weird, and I'm like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have worn this shirt in the airport. I was like, this was dumb. Yeah, I was like, this was silly.
It's hilarious.
But there was a dude that like came up to me. He's all, me too, dude. And like fist bump, and I was like, fuck. I was like, I gotta back out of this situation.
Oh my gosh,
but
you get to meet the people you're a fan of now.
Yeah,
That's like
it'll
me,
attract.
like in real life.
That's like me delving into TikTok and
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to crazy bitches. Yeah.
It's like the
It is
universe
so
just pulled more of
funny
them
to
to
me,
you.
though. Like I think it's so funny that like I love, or I shouldn't say, I hate how much like the country is just so divided on everything. I think it's so funny. It's like, okay, I'm going to say the one thing that normal people can just collectively say, yeah, the earth is fucking round.
Have you heard the latest ones?
What's that?
Oh, no.
Birds are drones.
Oh,
that.
My
And you know how they recharge themselves? Anytime you see birds sitting on lines on the telephone.
Yeah, they're
that's how
recharging.
Yeah, that's
Jesus.
That I hadn't heard. That is funny.
I
heard about them being drones. That's so funny. The power lines.
I had a grandma on my
Makes sense.
mom's side, rest your soul, Nana, but she claimed that birds weren't animals. Like,
they're actually animals, but they're dinosaurs. Yeah.
So like her rationale though was like in Genesis it says like all the animals on land and birds in sea. So she's just like that was like her distinction, and I'm like they're still animals.
Fucking
like
Christians.
I know, dude, fucking terrible.
Were you raised?
Yeah, I was raised Christian.
Do you have a cross on your?
No. Well, I have a Zia though, so it's like the same shit. You know what I mean?
Wait,
like,
have I shown mine? I have one too.
I think you have.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you got it on the shoulder. I was like, I have it on the cat.
Because you were
I saw
born
yours
here.
yesterday. Yeah, I was born here. I never thought I'd move back. I
Yeah.
mean, I've lived here like 10 years total my whole life.
Yeah, I have the Zia tattoo. But no, like, I don't know. The flat earth, it's so funny to me. And then, like, I've had, like I said, I coached wrestling at a school. And it was so funny to me to watch kids freak out and just like, bro, they have pictures. I'm like, doctored. Like, I just like would shut down every little thing that they would say. They're like, bro, like NASA. I'm like, fucking fake. I'm just like,
Fake news.
it's the funniest thing because like I don't know that any of us could truly like find a way to prove it. But the
can't
point,
prove anything,
But
yeah.
the point being is it's fucking round. Like, there's so much more to support that it's round. Like,
Now,
I just think it's
That is
hilarious.
You brought up NASA. Let me ask you this question. Real
Sure.
quick. Now, I believe,
Okay.
I believe we've been to the moon. I believe we've done everything that they say we've done.
Sure.
Now, I don't believe that they have filmed all of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that they have filmed previously on some stuff,
Sure.
you know, like space station shit and that kind of, you know, like the International Space Station shit. I think they filmed that stuff and then fucking broadcast it while they're up there.
Sure.
And I'm only saying that coming from cameras and video, the tech side of it.
Yeah, interesting.
Because, I mean, yeah, we do have the technology to beam images back down and video and all that stuff. But back in 1960...
Yeah, and like right now, like I was driving down Louisiana and I like lose a phone call, but they can send a freaking picture from the moon. Like,
well, it's not really a picture; it's data, and then that data is put into a picture, like that kind of thing.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
the thing that I say about like the moon, like if we didn't go to the moon, okay, like
no,
I don't,
think we went.
And if we did, like
but
awesome, it doesn't bother me.
I
if we
think
didn't.
a lot of the fucking video was doctored and done already.
I think that's completely fair too.
To heighten the experience of going into space, they've got to have some kind of visual to prove, yes, you know, because people would be just like, bullshit.
Well, it's like you said before, like the Super Bowl, they had hiccups. Like they didn't have a single hiccup. Like when we went to the moon, they're just like,
everything works great.
Yeah, this is fucking great, man.
Perfect fucking.
By the way, 30 years, we'll have dial-up, dude. You guys are gonna be pumped. like okay,
come on, dude.
Ridiculous.
The timeline doesn't match up with the, you know, come on. You know how big cameras were back in the 60s?
Or when did the microwave come into play even?
Computers in the 60s were as big as this fucking 50s. Room.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I saw something, I don't know if you saw this on that, of like the moon landing, that they like recorded it. The footage was fucked up. They like messed up the whatever. And then they faked the recording later with like whatever years later, and then said that was that, but that actually happened. They just the cameras, things like it didn't save, or they messed up.
And I do
like,
believe
the
that, like when they're
technology sucked back then,
I do believe that when they're taking pictures of the International Space Station, that is true.
Sure.
All that, the spacewalking, all that stuff's really going on.
Sure.
But as far as the guys inside of the International Space Station talking to somebody down on Earth.
You think even that?
Well, there have been videos that have, and I don't know if they're fucking true, who knows?
Sure.
But there have been videos where somebody's holding a pin and the pin just drops to the ground. You're fucking in space. It's supposed to be floating. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean...
But, I mean, I don't believe that we didn't go. I don't believe that the Earth is flat.
Sure.
But they are helping so that people do... Oh, this is fucking great.
Well, and like the other thing
to
too
help
is
their program,
sensationalizing things.
It's insane. Like when people like that's their entire lives is being a flat earther. It's like even then, like I don't know that I would openly like admit that even.
Yeah, and that like you said,
bizarre.
there's better things to put your efforts into, or more important things. I think too. And then that's
the most important thing in the world.
And then they have these people. How do you feel about the dark side of the moon? People.
What do you mean?
That there's like a camp on the dark side of the moon.
Well, China was just there.
And that China was there, and that there's they
videoed. They showed what was on.
Well, they say that there's also like alien races there and stuff.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That they have like a whole like thing back there where it's like Russia's over there, we have a thing over there, China's over there. We're allies. It's like the UN of space up there. It's like, why can we get along on the dark side of the moon, but we can't on Earth? Peace on motherfucking Earth. But how about this? Like sorry, we're on space.
No, you're good.
The James, I can't remember names of things. The telescope they just sent up.
Oh, that thing's real,
dude. And that thing's rad. And I think that's gonna like, especially now after that, how can people be flat earthers? You know, like it's just.
Well, the reason why people are so skeptical about that stuff is because of the way that the information's being sent.
Yeah.
Because it's not actually being sent as a picture that we see.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking data information, basically like fucking sonar shit. I mean, or whatever the fuck, and it's different. It's not, and then they put it together when it gets here.
Right.
So there's nothing together. There's no images. Like, there's pictures of like one star, 20 pictures I think they showed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, so they're going to take all those pictures and put them together, but it takes time to do that shit.
Yeah, they said that they won't be released any pictures for a long time.
That's the reason why I don't believe we went to, like, we weren't.
Because it takes too long. Yeah, a live
forever.
taping on the moon.
Live from the moon. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I never even thought about that.
Yeah,
but you're right.
Actually never
you
thought
have
of that
convinced me. You're right.
Well, it's technology.
Yep.
I mean, there's no like,
and especially if you deal with cameras and you deal with that kind of stuff, like
back then the cameras were humongous.
Yeah.
Like big. I mean, look at the studios cameras like back in the 60s and 50s. Humongous fucking things. Like thousands and thousands of pounds. There's no fucking way.
Yeah. We barely saw
didn't
Roger
have pin fucking cameras back then.
Yeah,
Come on.
we barely saw Roger Staubach throw a touchdown in the Super Bowl, but you're sending Chip back from the moon. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Whatever, dude.
Silly.
Especially video. A video would be a lot harder to send back in
just silly.
data.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're right. Like it didn't.
You know
It
how
wouldn't
long
build
it
the
takes.
excitement.
You know how long it takes me to edit fucking video. Can you imagine? Like,
Oh,
come on,
dude.
dude, give me a break.
If you try to edit a TikTok, like, dude,
Yeah.
the editing a TikTok is like 14 times longer than like actually filming it.
Right.
Like, fuck this.
Yeah, Ryan said, we didn't go to the moon, guys. There's Transformers there. Or was Michael Bay just fucking lying? Fucking Transformers. That was filmed at White Sands, some of it. The fighting scenes.
Yeah.
I was there. I was living there. Whatever. But the telescope, I did. So what was the clock? Did the clock run out? 2 questions. This comes together. I promise you.
Sure.
Because you're my Google right now.
Okay.
You know.
I got you.
If you know where Larry. Did the time run out on that like alien? Remember they were saying like everybody had to release like the alien information that they know to the public at a certain date. Wasn't there like a countdown of so many days?
Yeah,
Haven't we passed that?
they've admitted that there's.
Yeah, they admitted, but there was a new date where they had to release more. And for some reason in my head, I'm thinking it's clocking with the date that they're going to be releasing around date with the images from the telescope. And even people working on that said it's like stuff we've never seen before. And it's beautiful and amazing and like out of this world. Like you can't literally out of this world. Like they can't even describe. Yeah. They can't even describe some of the stuff that's starting to show up out there. And like they're seeing stars explode.
Yeah, because
and, like,
that
wild
telescope has been traveling through space since, but for the last 20 years.
The new one just launched recently.
No,
the brand new one just launched this past year.
No, it's been launched. They're just saying that it's finally at its destination.
Oh, is that? I thought it just took off.
It takes
Okay.
for fucking ever.
Yeah.
What the weird part too,
like it took like 7 years just to get.
I thought
out
that
there.
they tried to do that and then it broke and they had to like do another launch one. No. The James.
There's no way that thing is like light speeds. That it can do light
but it's
speeds.
picking up stuff as it's going. But yeah, I guess it's at its destination now. Okay, that makes sense.
What's so crazy, like that's the argument that actually bugs me more is when people say like we know more about space than we do of the ocean. It's like how?
Yeah,
like,
well, no, that is
fuck the
true.
ocean.
Because
You think so?
oh fuck yeah, dude.
Really?
Yes, we've
Okay.
only explored 2% of the ocean.
It's terrifying.
2%.
But like space just continues to go. Like it's still like a bottom of like the ocean.
Well, black matter is constantly growing.
Yeah, that's true.
Forever, but
we
don't know because of the pressure down there. Like humans
Sure.
can't survive down in the ocean. Like I think the deepest we've gone is, I want to say,
Sit down, look at me.
like 30,000.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You know?
They've
Not
sent
very
things
far.
like machines and whatever down there and
Well,
finding
James Cameron went down there and fucking floated around for a little bit.
The director dude?
Yeah. the
Oh,
guy,
and
the
one of those little
Titanic
pod
dude.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he holds the world record for the deepest that humans ever been. Yeah.
Dang.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Huh. They keep finding all these new creatures that I look at but I'm also terrified by fish. If you've heard me say I'm fish phobic. Any water, well, not any water animal, but a lot of them. But I look at them and it's crazy.
Have you seen the video of the jet guys, the Navy guys that saw the images down in the water? They say a lot. They say one of the things they're saying is that the aliens actually live in the ocean.
Yeah. And then they're saying that Atlantis was actually probably a true thing and that was probably some sort of an alien race. And yeah, they're saying I did see they have action down there. And then they're also wondering if like even octopus were like derived from some sort of alien thing because they have a whole whatever that is alien.
Yeah, you don't want to go too
they're
deep
very
on that
alien.
I've seen some videos of some dudes talking about lizard people.
But the octopus, not too deep on that, but I'm just fascinated by octopi or octopuses, that's the right way. They're my favorite water animal, I guess. Sure. And squids kind of, but they're just so wild. They can change color. Like they're just my octopus teacher.
You can create whatever like reality you want to.
It's
like people
true.
just keep diving, all of a sudden they create more theories and it gets insane.
It's hard. Do you feel, how do I put this? I think with more and more like technology and everything growing. Ooh, we have a video. Oh, let's watch this now.
Keep talking.
Anyway, with technology like growing and things, it's hard for me even to watch like documentaries past like 10 years ago because I feel like a lot of the stuff in them has been changed by this point. Yeah. So it's like, what am I believing? That's why I think I'm so much agnostic in a lot of ways of life. And not even saying spiritual, of just being like, who fucking knows, man? Like, is that where you feel like you're at? Like, you were raised religious?
Yeah, I was raised religious, and I still believe to a certain extent. Like, I think just assuming that you know for sure anything is insane to me. Like,
you don't.
We just know for sure. Like,
know for sure.
Even in our own brains.
Yeah, like I mean, again, it's like shocking when someone's like, "Oh, there absolutely isn't a God," and then all of a sudden someone's like, "Oh, there absolutely is." It's like, how do you just fully know that?
Like my daughter asked that question.
Sure,
because her mom died when she was young.
Okay.
And she asked that question, and I tell her I don't know. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think that's a responsible thing.
Like you're gonna have to figure that out for yourself. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm 50.
I have, and like I have.
I think that's
I have no
good thing to do. Be honest with your kid.
Yeah, absolutely. I respect both sides of that. Like people that believe or don't believe. Like I think but that's the thing though, is like a belief of it. It's like I believe there's a God. Cool. Like I believe there's not a God. All right. Like that. Like the fact that people fight over that shit is insane to me.
Yeah, that too is like my reality is slightly different
Especially
from
since
yours.
We have UFOs.
Yeah, and the UFO. You believe in aliens, though, right?
I mean, sure.
Well,
you have to. You're like, sure. Again,
the best like meme. Go ahead.
Let me show you this real quick.
All right, we're action in one.
Bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh.
Now, you got to remember, these are
I'm
fucking fighter
that.
pilots. And I don't know if you know what it takes to be a fighter pilot, but you have to be a really smart motherfucker.
Yeah.
And to sit there and go, oh my gosh.
What is?
Like
after
shocked.
you've probably already seen everything in the world that's ever flown.
Sure.
But
That's
against
insane.
the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Yeah, I've seen this. This was the original one they released, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's not our LNS, though, is it? It's not. That is an LNS, dude. Well, if there's another thing, it's rotating.
Mm-hmm.
same thing happened to my friend.
Not
And I'll
from
tell you
one.
this story. Fucking
Oh, shit.
crazy. My friend is he's dead now, but he was a hot air balloon pilot.
Oh.
But he went to school in Virginia to he wanted to be like a full-blown test pilot.
Sure.
Like for all kinds of shit. And he said he was laying on the ground with him and his friend. Short story. I'm not going to get crazy long into it because, I mean, we ain't got all night. But him and his friend were laying like at nighttime and happened to notice this tic-tac thing coming out of the sky. And they both said at the same time, do you see that?
Yeah.
And I guess it like rotated, like he said right there. As it was flying, it was moving. And he said it turned into like a horseshoe. And then he said as fast as you could blink, it'd be over there. And then it'd be over there.
Oh, wow.
And then it'd be over. And they say that they're using gravity to pull
Yes.
themselves to spots.
And it's not even. And
Makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean,
and all those like the Bob Lazar stuff and whatever the
Bob
things they
Lazar
worked
said
on.
that,
What was
yeah.
that? It was like something that we don't like an element or something, and it wasn't even like wiring. It was almost just like these certain metals and things that you put near each other and did something like with the gravity.
Terminator shit, like where everything is there's no seams on anything.
Yes, they could bend gravity and kind of like move through space. And
Speaking of Terminator, like I think that part of also like fan fiction or like when they start talking about time travel, like time travel is no longer, like they say, like time is not linear. I get so frustrated now watching movies and like time travel is like a scapegoat for a bad plot. Like I felt like the last Marvel like movie, there's things that like just didn't make sense because they're like, oh, but it's time travel and you can do this. Like it's like, none of that.
Last one?
What was it, Endgame?
Oh,
It's like they're jumping back and forth because it's true. Like, so if you can go back in time, then you can come forward in time in a different reality. It's like there's so much. I mean, I'm probably fucking that up.
No, I'm
but
laughing
you're
at this
contradictory.
stupid video.
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
they're being contradictory of their own.
Well, or like not even like contradictory. It's just like, okay, so if you go back in time, you come forward in time, like you can just recreate an entire plot line because you're right, it would be a different reality. Like the thought is, okay, so if you went back, killed Hitler, we would have a different reality right now. It's like, I don't. That stuff frustrates me. I feel like that's just like
they almost
lazier writing.
Oh,
or
right.
just-
They almost erase everything and be like, okay, now it's this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, we could.
You've
just,
heard the thing that like we're in a simulation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in that a bit.
I don't know what this
To
is.
the Stars, it's the Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 and Angels and Airwaves guy. His
Is
company.
it?
Yeah, he founded this and people thought he was like crazy for a while. And then they started releasing
Yeah, this is the.
fighter pilot who highly trained observers and weapons systems. An excited state over the experience. Raytheon. Oh, shit.
I don't even know if they're gonna play any. Let me go back over here.
Sprouse. I just experienced a lot of paranormal shit growing up and stuff, so I'm like,
I don't
kind
think
of
there's any sound on this
feel.
one.
I don't know if it's like dead people or just trapped energy or something,
They're
but there's
telling
something
you all
more
the
we can't
things
feel.
on
Yeah.
on the.
Oh, okay. If you're not watching, we're watching a video. More aircraft sensor armed below. Wait, is it playing?
No, it's playing, but it's showing you what all the things mean before it shows you.
Gotcha.
You can see
Airlift
there that
target, auto check
you can
bars.
see where the wing is bent down a little bit. That means he's turning right, showing you the
Okay.
degrees and all that shit.
Oh, that's rad. Learning. Hot display.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, this is the water one. Or the ocean one.
Right. See it?
Weird.
You can't even keep up with it. It's going so
Yeah,
fast.
it just keeps like jetting around this little. Oh, and then I got it.
They got locked on it.
Yeah.
He's locked on
And
it.
it's
right
just
now.
zooming.
That's
It's that little thing right there.
oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, any of these guys to be like shocked, you know, it's got to be something.
Yeah, it's got to be
incredible.
like, what the fuck?
Instead, like
There could be some underwater stuff happening.
fair. I mean, like it's funny to think that they would just be like, oh, see a bird, like not a big deal, but
No,
something
but
that's zooming.
there's another one, and I'm not really going to get into it and search for it because we got other shit to talk about. There's another one where they're 20,000 feet above the surface of the ocean, way out in the Atlantic, and because they had because they got sensors and shit out there in case aircraft comes out.
Yeah.
So sensors were going off, and they've also got radar. There's like
Yeah.
little sensor buoys out there.
Yeah.
And so the I can't remember what kind of planes were there, but they took off out there to go see what the fuck was going on. And when they got out there, they were 30,000 feet above the ocean surface, and they could see this little, what wasn't little, an aircraft
Yeah.
hovering right above the water, doing these really erratic movements, like it was doing something to the water or something.
Oh, shit.
And so they're sitting there talking back and forth because they're both watching it, because I think it was two of them were flying over. And they're both watching it. It's like, you can't believe that. I can't believe I'm seeing this. And then one guy one of the dudes decided to take a closer look and dip down to, I think it was 20 or 15,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that thing shot up to 30,000 feet. And then two more came down like as fast as he could from like 60,000 feet.
Oh wow.
In like 2 seconds, it fucking was on the surface of the ocean. It just sat there and did that
Wow.
the whole time.
The speed,
It's
yeah,
insane.
it's different, totally different technology. They're just time warping. Oh my gosh,
Well,
I
that's
want to be in
insane.
one of those like crafts. I wonder if us if say
I'm
that's
just
an
waiting for him to
alien.
come out and say, hey, you know what, guys? I hate to break it to you, but they're walking among us. Like, they're
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's probably
Like-
a good
like
chance
Men in
there
Black shit,
is.
you know?
Sure. Yeah.
There's probably a good chance they've evolved here, had people here, whatever's here. But I wonder though if these like aircrafts, if we as humans, I guess they've been trying to test that technology lately, but if we can withstand that, do you know what I mean? Like they have to have different makeup biologically than
I think we
do.
have some kind of an agreement with, like, remember when Trump wanted to start the Space Force and shit?
Yeah,
That's
what
when
was-
all this shit was
Yeah.
coming out. And he was getting
Oh.
prepared for,
That was the thing I liked best about it.
the
Like,
Space Force. Space Force.
But yeah, he was getting prepared for all
That's
this
a good show, too.
stuff.
Have you seen that show?
No, with Steve
Steve
Carell.
Carell.
I
That's
haven't yet.
funny.
It's on Amazon, right?
It's fucking
I finally
funny.
have all these
Yeah.
logins.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, I need to watch. When somebody else that I agree with their Do you know what I mean? Somebody will be like, hey, yeah, I like this show. I'm like, okay, I'll watch it now because I know you have a good taste and stuff.
Yeah,
So.
it's funny to watch, though.
Yeah.
It's hilarious because they're feeding off of what Trump said. You can totally tell. Like,
That's
that thing came out when Space Force came out.
Yeah.
But
I love Shane Gillis for saying, like, can we, like, all agree that, like, Trump is funny? Like, it's like he said some funny shit. Like, I'm not endorsing the guy. It's just he's funny.
Yeah, he did give. I mean, it was wild times while he was in office, but he did give some comedic relief to the general audience. I think I got that.
Saying can we nuke a hurricane is fucking hilarious.
Oh, I forgot you said that.
Like, I could just nuke it, and like Shane Gillis has that whole bit. I'm like, that is a brilliant bit.
Shane Gillis is funny.
He's so good.
He's somebody that I think is like somebody's gonna be a good, the newer.
I've seen his stand-up comedy, and he's kind of like a Theo Von. Like, I love Theo Von, but I don't like Theo Von's stand-up.
I like
agree
him,
with you. I like him in a
podcast.
Yeah,
conversation.
Yeah, I've watched him on other people's podcasts. Be like, oh, it's Theo, I'll watch it. But yeah, I don't love.
Who do you think is like the most overrated like comedian?
Like, as a person and an entity, or like on stage?
Just in general. Like, you just think like everyone just is like I think Kevin Hart is very funny, and I love him in movies.
Ooh.
But his like stand up, like
I'm with you.
I'm just like I don't think he's like
well,
some of his early stuff.
Yeah,
so like some of his early stuff. But I think
funny.
I think if you like always perform in theaters, like or arenas, even, it's just like those people thought you were funny from the like get go. Like there's nobody taking a risk going to your show.
Right.
Yeah. And you're automatically gonna laugh because you're just like even if the joke didn't fully hit.
And it's like, I still think he's funny. I don't know. I think he's very overhyped. I'm not saying he's not a hardworking dude.
I've said this before.
I agree with you on
I've
that.
said this before. I think that if a comedian has made it to the point where he is so far removed, because to be a comedian, you got to suffer.
Yeah.
You got to have some kind of trauma in your life. You got to have something that you can turn around and make funny. It might not be funny to other people, and that's where lines get crossed in comedy and shit.
Yeah.
But he's just gotten to the point where he's just got too much money. I mean, you can't walk in and talk about, I just bought it from, whatever.
It's hard to be relatable when you're at that point.
I'm helping my dad out, and, that's where it turned wrong to when I liked more when he was talking about the bad stuff and, like his dad being a crackhead. Now he's helping his dad, and like, that ain't...
Yeah.
We don't want to hear that shit. We want to hear the suffering.
I want to stop getting clapped there for your kindness.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like someone just like saying a point to get like clap. Like,
yes.
I don't know. I made a joke about like my dad, because like I'm technically adopted by my dad. Married my mom after I think I was like 3 years old or so.
Okay.
So I'm legally adopted.
You don't know your dad.
I don't know my biological dad.
Oh, cool.
I was about to say, and then people are like, "Oh, it's your stepdad" or whatever. I'm like, "No, that's my dad." But
that's dramatic.
Drama.
A little bit, but I mean,
yeah.
I was loved, man. I had a good life. I'm not.
It's around 3.
Yeah, but like the thing was like, I had like this joke about like my dad saying something. I made fun of him, and then he's like, or he said something about like, I wish I didn't adopt you. Like, he was joking. Like, it was a total joke. And then all of a sudden I was like, I guess Texas is like feeling pretty stupid right now about like not abortion not being real. And like, I got claps for that joke. And I was like, that's not the fucking point. I'm not trying to make a political statement.
Yeah,
it was like,
just because you talked about Texas,
yeah,
they're
like,
all like, good for you.
It's just dumb. And it wasn't a well-crafted joke anyway, so I didn't deserve a laugh. But I'm like, okay, silence would have been better. I don't know. That's the way I felt.
What are you doing, Toastmasters?
Yeah, I was just like, okay, we're clapping for this.
And yeah, when people do that, or they'll be like, COVID, right? It's been hard, right? Give it up for that. And it's like, or the give it up for, like, constantly.
I don't like the give it up fors. I don't like the how's everybody doings.
Yeah, a rhetorical question
I don't like the ums and the uhs up on stage. I mean, a couple of them are fine, but if that's all you're doing, I don't like them unless you're at an open mic. If you're getting paid to do a fucking set, don't look at your fucking
Don't look
phone,
at your notes.
Oh, that drives me insane.
Yeah.
If you're working shit out,
totally
that's different.
Also, like, newer comedians. Like, I take my phone up there and, like, I don't exactly know. I'm still trying to figure some shit out. I think that's acceptable, but
but you're doing it at an open mic. You're not getting paid.
Exactly. Like, when people go up, and it's like a legit show, you pay, even if you paid, what, like $5 to get in, and, like, someone's constantly looking at their notes, it's like, oh, okay, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I also think that,
I agree. It's distracting, too.
don't get drunk before your set. Don't
No.
smoke weed before your set. Because that just fucks you up. And I know a lot of comedians here in town that's like...
That's their shtick.
A dag. No,
Yeah.
that's like a dagger. Like if they get high before the set, their fucking set is garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
can tell right
that's the
away.
thing is like I've had buddies like, oh, how many of those have you had? I'm like, I've had one. Like I want to like kind of maybe take the nerve off, but like I want to feel what's happening.
talking
up
about
there.
I do about
when
yeah.
people get drunk.
I do about
like,
a half a beer to a beer before the set because I
Yeah.
want a little bit of a on stage, but then maybe after I have a beer. But yeah, I don't want to drink more
Because
than
it doesn't work. It just,
I want to feel what's happening. Like I don't want to be numb for the experience. Like I want to feel the crowd.
Yes, and when you feel that, you're more in the moment, and then when you're more in
there's
the
a lot
moment, the jokes work better.
Right, there's a lot of comics that just out of nervousness will continue
Yeah.
to drink, and then by the time they're called up on stage, it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I don't know. That's I forgot the beginning of what we were talking about. I apologize, but yeah.
No,
I was like-
we're all
yeah, it's all
we are
yeah.
on tangents, and
Yeah.
I love it. It's all coming together. So you're wanting to do more comedy, you said now, and this next year, that's one of your...
That's one of my big goals is like to continue, like actually like push myself to go. Cause I think I was just giving myself a ton of excuses and be like, oh, like I'll go when I'm comfortable. And I think even Amory like posted a meme or something. It's like, if you're always going to grind when you feel comfortable, like you're not going to make it very far. And I'm like, that's a fair point. Like I need to commit to it a little bit more, you know?
We were talking last night. Larry, listen to the episode. You guys too. About that
exactly.
and just fears and like, things like that, holding yourself back, and especially, feeling the pressure when other people rely on you. And then I'm like, I'm letting everybody down.
The
Like all
dumbest
these-
thing is I'm so terrified of bombing, and it's gonna happen. Like I've
Dude.
bombed
Oh,
already.
yeah.
It's gonna
you cannot
it's
be
gonna
terrified.
happen.
You can't
What
be terrified
makes
of
you
it.
terrified about? Like, what do you think is gonna what do you?
Because if I'm in
Just
the back and
awkward.
I see you bombing, I'm gonna be laughing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny
Thanks. I
when
was about to say I'm gonna look at Larry and be like, my man.
because there's bombing and then there's bombing where Larry's laughing.
Yeah.
Because there's
I
bombing
love
where
it.
it's like,
I
Like
love
so
it.
when someone's just eating shit,
Oh,
that's
I
your
love it.
that's your
that's
best.
entertainment. There is a
That's funny.
I thought I saved the meme, but there was something I was like, or just not a meme. In fact, in Japan, they have a word for that when somebody is trying to be funny and they're not, but the fact that they're not funny is funny to you, and you laugh. So like that's that sort of thing when people bomb. It's like like the roast battles, gong shows. You love those.
I think like I know what that feeling is like just with buddies. You say a joke, doesn't hit, you're like, okay, like that sucks.
Yeah, and never like if you ever said a joke, it doesn't hit around your friends, and then you say it again,
Yeah, oh,
and
you
it
double
doesn't
down.
hit again, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, we heard you the first time."
Yeah,
dumbass."
that's the worst. I've been called out. If Ryan Cork is still watching this, he's done that to me. He's like, no, we heard you the first time.
That's awesome, dude.
Sick, dude.
See, that's a real friend.
No, he's a real friend
That's
for
somebody
sure.
that tells you your joke fucking stinks.
And like, but the funny part is like, I'm used to that with my friends. So like, I'm sure comedy's the same way. Like you'll get used to those sets where they just suck. You tried something.
And they're perfect strangers. Who cares if they like whatever? I mean, obviously you want to play to the crowd, but at the end of the day, it's not like you really have to go home and hear them talking shit about you or something. You know what I mean? At least at this point.
I think also like how that it wouldn't be a challenge at that point. Like everyone would do it if you could just go up and always be funny.
Dude, there's comedians out there that get sympathy laughs and thin sympathy
Yeah.
stuff. It's so gross.
The thing, actually, I think maybe like what bugs me the most
Because
is
we
when,
like her, or because you know,
oh no, follow your dreams.
there's
It's like
some of
like
those here.
I've told my friends like if I say something, even like conversations, if I say something that's not funny, don't laugh. Like don't try to make me feel better. Like
Right.
I think
then you
that's,
don't know when you're actually be funny.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's actually probably my biggest pet peeve is when comedians laugh at their own joke to make other people laugh. You're like,
We touched on this a little. Yeah.
There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them that do it out of nervousness.
Sure.
But there's some that have been doing a long time where they'll even
Oh,
just like
yeah.
almost yell the punchline and be like, and now this is where you laugh. Like,
Yeah.
and they're like, haha, right? And it's like,
the only person I've seen do it.
let me lead myself to water, please.
The only person I've seen do it that really worked, and like it wasn't even that it like worked. It's just he did it. He just laughed at his own joke. It was that funny. It was Jared Ostrom in the roast battle against Tsunami.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
How do you
everybody
not
was
laugh at that
dying.
joke? That was so
And
good.
Jared's like, it's a nervous
He's a
giggle.
giggly dude,
He's
yeah.
just Like he does the shoulder giggles. It's so cute, and he turns red, and it's like he does it in like an endearing way. I think.
I don't think he does it to make other people laugh. I think he's just like, like he just kind of does it.
Yeah, I think for sure. He's like, oh, everybody's laughing, and that was kind of silly.
He's a really good writer.
He's amazing. I look up to him so much. I think he should
stick with writing and skits and not do stand-up.
Really? Yeah. He's a great stand-up, though. He's great writing jokes.
He's good, but he's way better at writing.
When I told Carla last night on the pod, I was like, the thing that I think is that he has so many good jokes, but like doesn't let them eat almost. Or like
he's got the timing down.
That's he'll just go one joke to the next, and like he just had absolute like banger after banger, but never let anyone just kind of like chew on the joke for a second. I'm like, it's so fun. Yeah, I was like, that bit was so funny. That joke was so funny, but he's already on to the next one, and I'm trying to catch up to like what he's saying. I think he just goes.
Yes, and that's something on stage I still try to have to be cognizant about. I was like, enunciate and slow the fuck down.
Also,
like,
if
let
Jerry's
them
watching
understand.
this or listening, not talking shit, whatever, the dude is fucking hilarious.
No.
Like, I'm like,
and I feel like
I just critiqued it.
I think he's a really good writer.
He's an amazing writer. And I'll say this in not a critique or whatever. It's just everybody has their different styles, and sometimes have like cohesive like. I'll say just when we were talking about how now I've noticed people are gravitating more towards like storytelling of type comedians. And
she was from Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer.
Yeah,
those guys.
And I love those guys, and I feel like I do that.
And the like Dave Chappelle's and whatever, but also more so after pandemic, because I think people will want that like connection. So if you're telling the story about that, and they're like, oh, this is a real human, instead of be like joke, one liner, random joke, and also it's harder to follow. Yeah, like
Mark
just
Norman's
jumping from
joke.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who are very successful and do that. But I've noticed lately a lot of people, even at open mics, laugh more when the comedian is telling a somewhat linear, cohesive story, even if it's different subjects.
Do you guys use social media for your jokes? I'm saying there's a lot of comedians that'll use Twitter.
Yeah, I don't.
Like Mark Norman
uses
Twitter constantly. Like,
I was scared I'm going to throw a thing away.
What the response is.
What the response is, yeah.
I'll just tweet shit that I think is funny in my head, but like I don't know. Like I've posted like stuff I've done on TikTok, and I'm like,
and on Twitter, nobody's really going to see it that you know.
Yeah,
because nobody has Twitter.
Yeah, well, actually, like only people that I know like follow me on Twitter. TikTok, it's like I don't have any followers on TikTok, so it's like that one's just like for me for fun, and I don't know. I'll post like things that I think are funny on Twitter, but that's about it. Like I don't try jokes on Twitter. I
guess I'm afraid to like post like even Twitter joke writings to throw away a joke.
Throw away something.
Huh? I know. I get afraid to. I just have post anxiety, and you have to listen to that episode. We even talked about stuff. Next week, I want you to help me go through.
Bad post anxiety, dude.
It's awful, and that's why I think next week.
She just now posted the flyer for you.
Yeah.
2 hours before you showed up.
I get anxiety so bad for no reason. I mean, it's the stupidest things, but then I'll go out in the wilderness by myself with no like anything. Just like, well, I'm gonna wander.
You're afraid. Like even I get afraid of what I'm saying.
I get and that's why next week. And I told him I want to go through my old Facebook, like go down a bit, and I'll find a place to start for you, just to like get over that past self of just posting either stupid shit or feeling like insecure about it. I mean, if I rip that band-aid, then I'll be like, blah, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. I shared this shit with you guys. So.
Oh, dude, let's do this. Yeah, I was a weird kid.
I even now got like weird feeling about talking about it.
You feel the anxiety.
And that's the biggest thing, though, is like I said, I'm standing my own way and standing in Larry's way of like moving things forward, because now that is a big part of this job as a comedian, as even an actor, entertainer. Don't you feel like a lot of it is your online presence, or you have to at least have a good.
Well, and that's like the thing. So for Instagram, like I have my personal one, I have the podcast one. Podcast one, I'm like, all right, I don't care how much I post on there. I don't care how much, because at the end of the day, like you're looking for interaction. Like me, I'm like, I don't really care about myself posting stuff. I post like family pictures, but on the podcast, I want to post some stupid shit. I want to post stuff to promote the show. Like, I think I can distinguish that way and just kind of go, okay, this is to promote stuff or just kind of throw away stuff. Right. I just keep my personal one just for family and stuff like that.
Interesting. Yeah, and I feel like if I post, more on the like one that's shared by us, then it'll be like, oh, Larry doesn't approve of this or whatever, and then I'm like,
Why
oh,
would
and then
I?
people will think Larry sucks
It's
because
your
I posted
show.
something. I know, but you're my like, I don't know
You
what's
could-
the right word for this.
You post fine on your own personal shit.
Yeah, and on there I do more like, candid photo. I posted the picture we
that's
did
fine.
yesterday, and
Yeah.
I end up getting more likes on those, I think, when I
baby.
do candid life.
Yeah.
Carla V Thinks Out Loud
Yeah.
and carlavasquezcomedy.com and on all social media. And also,
Yeah,
I
we
just
need
don't,
to
like
get
you
on
said, I just
fucking
don't.
Apple, you know that?
Oh fuck! Just what I need to ask again. She told me there's this way, and you have to go in a certain thing through the thing, and
I'm thinking about going through it instead of Anchor, going through another different one.
yeah. But even through there, you have to like Apple. I guess you on all things you have to approve it on stuff.
Well, no,
when
you
most
have to
stuff
have an
goes
Apple
through.
ID, and then
She said you don't.
really,
I don't know. I'll ask her
well,
again.
I think
fucking ask her. Get it.
Guess
together.
what? If you're listening this night, there is a way.
I was about to say, I think I had to have an Apple ID. Like,
Yeah,
I think it was the same.
because you have to go through iTunes and shit, and then set up and
Yeah.
my computer wouldn't download iTunes. It was all this fucking.
I use
I'm so sick of it.
Transistor, and I was able to do it that way. But I did
Well,
have
we
to
use
have.
Anchor, but we still needed to have an Apple ID.
Yeah.
She's got an Apple. No, you
I
don't. I
don't.
keep saying that. Why do I keep saying
I will
Yeah.
at some point, but no.
that? Oh, that's right.
Dried.
What's up with Caleb? Fucking liar.
He said it would be like spring.
Yeah.
Caleb's sweet boy. He was like,
That's
I'll give you
nice.
my phone when I upgrade. I was like,
Oh, there you go.
and he has like a decent iPhone, like a semi-new one. I was like, well,
Doesn't he have
It's
rich
been a
parents or
while.
something?
I don't know what the money situation is in his family. He has
Huh?
multiple parents. He has step parents and real regular parents. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. He possibly.
Two dads or something.
Do you do you come from like an affluent family or?
I mean, I don't think like we were rich by any stretch, but I mean, I didn't have like concerns.
Yeah.
I would like, it's always funny, like when I talk to some people, are like, oh dude, you didn't have to do this. Or I don't know. It was funny because my cousins had that where they would buy like regular Cheerios instead of like Honey Nut Cheerios. And then but we would drown it with sugar. It's like, I don't know. It's like you didn't save any calories out of that, but it was like cheaper to buy like regular Cheerios. I don't know.
And
We
sugar.
like we were fine. Like I didn't grow up with rich parents, but we were okay.
And then you just had the sister. And is your sister from?
From my what you would call like my stepdad. Yeah, like she's the ours, so she's like a half sister technically, but that's my sister.
Aww.
Yeah.
I like the way he uses
Bro.
the air quotes when he says stepfather.
I was about to say like that's my dad.
Step-
Like he's been there the whole time, you know. So like that is just the easiest way to explain it. But
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, he's a good dude.
Big bro. I always look up to like Big Brother. I don't know because you
Yeah.
seem like I listened to the one with you and your sister.
Yeah.
You had your sister on the podcast.
God, I was
She
like
seemed
pulling
a
fucking
sweetie.
teeth. Like she just I don't know. I think she was just waiting for me to like continue to like talk.
Oh yeah.
And she is the observer. Like I always say, I'm the extrovert. She's the introvert. If we went to a party, I would meet all 200 people in the party, not remember one person's name, and have a great time. She would not have met anyone, but known every single
Every
person's
person.
story. Yeah, like that, and that's just like our different personalities.
Yeah. I feel like growing up, I was probably more like her. Now I'm probably more
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah, no,
We changed.
I'll talk to whoever and that kind of stuff.
So you feel like you're pretty social? I mean, do you go out a lot, or do you like hang out at the house? What do you do to socialize, or what are your hobbies at this point in time?
I mean, like I like to help out with youth, like anything. I don't know. I did grow up fortunate, and like I know there's tons of kids that didn't. Also, like wrestling gave a lot to me in life, so I like to think like that's a way for me to give back. I think I also wanted to teach.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, well, that kind of like scratches a like teaching itch for me without like having to, I shouldn't say having to be, but without being a teacher.
Did you go to college?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I went to New Mexico State.
Oh.
Down in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
I've been
yeah.
in Las Cruces a lot.
Yeah, I
Just
love
over the mountain from Alamogordo.
Yep.
It's fine there. It's kind of an ugly city. Sorry, Las
Cruces.
Cruces.
Oh man, I loved it. But
It's not attractive. Sorry.
Fair.
So I
From
like it here.
Alamogordo?
It's beautiful.
Like-
Not from. I was technically born there, moved when I was 2 months, and then we moved back when I was like 12, I think.
gotcha.
And then I moved when I was 18.
Mm.
So barely, high school, part of middle school. But not from. I'm from everywhere, from nowhere.
Yeah.
Who knows? From here now, I claim Albuquerque now.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll stay here? Because I heard in a podcast that you think you might be like done here soon in like a year or so.
Yeah, and I keep saying like at least a year, and then like I said that the other day, and I'm like, I said that like 8 months ago. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that I'll move anytime real soon. I do like it here. I didn't want to move here. I've said that several times. Like, I just always had like a bad image of Albuquerque.
Interesting. Yeah.
But I have a great friend group now, and like there's some like a side of like grit to like Albuquerque too. That's like, okay, I enjoy that. Like, there's some people that are like genuine people, authentic. You know, so
I think we
enjoy
have
it.
Everything here. Like,
Everything.
We have a little of everything. A lot of different types of people. Different types of weather, different types of terrains. That's what, and everywhere is like anywhere. And I think, have you moved outside of the state?
I haven't. I spent like a couple summers working at like a camp.
Oh yeah, you're a camp counselor.
Yeah, I was a camp counselor. That was my shit back in the day.
Were you a camper back in the day?
Nope.
Just
camp
counseling?
It was kind of on a whim, but I ended up doing camp counseling, and that was so much fun. I could just be obnoxious and yell the entire time. It was part of my job, so that was fun.
Just yelling at kids with the whistle.
Oh, for sure.
Do the camp counselors get it on a lot? Like with each other, like not the kids.
So like I worked. I worked. I'm like,
you touched any kids while you were a counselor,
cut the cameras, dude.
This is where we canceled Tierney before.
Yeah. It was weird. Chris Hansen was like the director. I don't know. I worked at a Christian camp, so like.
Oh, that's even fucking worse.
So that,
dude.
but that's the thing is like if people did like get it on, like they hit it pretty well, but I think they did, and I actually think there's probably way crazier shit that happened.
So you never tried to get some Bible thumping bitch?
I was talking
finger pop.
Nah, see, like
behind the cross.
Finger pop behind the cross.
I was talking.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was talking to a girl
it's like
at the
rap
time.
lyrics.
That was
right.
Me,
Finger pop
like,
behind the cross.
I would, like in junior high and shit, like you know, because girls, well, you try and talk to a chick and be like, I go to youth group, and so you ended up going to youth group.
Yeah,
even though you don't give two shits about what that pastor's saying, you know.
Sure.
Do a little finger pop behind the cross.
Yeah, it like
it's the name of my new death metal band.
Yes,
finger pop behind the cross.
My gosh, it's a catchy title. Like I like it. Finger pop behind the cross.
What is
just
that?
me.
Just you.
Yeah,
It's just
screaming
you.
into the mic.
It's just
acapella metal.
It's not AC/DC.
No guitar, just
yeah. It's not
Acapella
AC/DC.
metal,
It's
it's awesome.
FPBC. Just freaking finger pop behind the cross.
Finger pop behind the cross.
I was
this.
talking to a girl at the time, so like I didn't even try. But there's some craziness. I guarantee there's craziness that happened there. You know.
Where was that camp that you were
In Tyler, Texas. So it was like an hour.
Tyler, that came up twice this week in conversation. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Like Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre all put into one.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know.
No,
that.
but I mean
Oh,
that's like a serial killer or a fucking horror film right there. Camp counselor. Christian.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Is that near Temple? No. That's out of Dallas.
Yeah, it's like
Temple's outside
it's like an
Austin.
hour, 2 hours from Dallas, like east of Dallas.
Hill Country.
Yeah, it's like
Jason
closer to
Voorhees.
Louisiana. That was a crazy thing is experiencing people from Louisiana. Like I never met. Like they're way more like hick than people
so
from
weird.
Texas.
Like, I knew a bunch of those. Like I've known a couple people from Arkansas, and they are just. I'm not as being a white guy.
Yeah,
you know, you would think that I would be like, oh
yeah.
I just hate that shit. I hate the country talk. I hate the let's go mudding. Like,
why don't you?
I've been mud bogging. You want to go mud bogging?
Why don't you want sweet tea? Just like because I like shit that's bitter. I don't know.
Sweet tea, Valdalia onions.
Just like I think Five Finger Death Punch is gross and
I agree.
It's fucking
You don't like Southern metal?
I love Southern groove death metal. If that's what you want to call it, but like Southern, like Super
like
Joint
every
Ritual.
time I die, anyway, go ahead.
No, all the music you listen to is shit.
No, that's like that every time I die was good. That was like a metal band, but they were like Southern rock metal.
Emo, and they talked about
no,
their feelings.
they weren't emo.
Not talking about that. You should be talking
I
about.
listen to metal and I listen to emo, and they're completely different. Chopping
heads off.
I know that shit. Yeah, and I've dated metal vocalists too. So.
What was that like?
You mean emo vocalist?
No, metal like hardcore tech metal,
like Cannibal Corpse singing, or
like no
or
singing.
Slipknot singing, where they're death metal 1 minute and then melodic the next minute.
No melodic. No melodic, just screaming. Screaming, and then tech metal is kind of like they change time signatures here and there, so it's like
you got to do either.
A lot of
like
double
corn.
bassing, like and a lot of and then the like heavy.
That sounded like
lot of
banjo
that.
shit right there. That's what it,
like the intricate metal
finger
shit.
popping behind the cross right there.
Jess Wood made that sound. Oh my God. Jess Wood made that sound the other day. She like talk about her like basically finger popping. I laughed so hard just the sound.
She talks a lot about masturbating. She's funny.
Dude, I need to get Jess Wood on the podcast.
You
then.
should.
You should.
She's such a sweetheart.
She's one of the first females to be on fucking Def Comedy Jam.
Well, and she's the first white female.
But not,
she was the first white female there.
Yeah, the first white female. But she wasn't. They didn't put it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because some of them they aired and some of them they didn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's a very interesting person to talk to.
She's my age, so she's lived it.
She's been in
Hollywood.
Speaking of like finger popping behind the cross, like just like the expression. Like I was like going down Central one time, and this like lady was like flashing people.
Oh,
and then
lovely.
like pointing people out if you're looking, and like I had the audacity to look. I'm like, bitch, like I saw titties in the wild, like I'm gonna look, like so it's like I've never not looked at titties in person, like
in person.
I'm like
on
online,
TV,
you're like,
he turns.
You like look, yeah, exactly. I'm like, do like the one eye, like. I'm like, I was trained, my parents were like, look away. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm like, that's what I always say. Like, in the wild, dude.
Nobody's looking away, dude.
I feel like,
I was looking through the static to see if I could see a nipple.
Even if, I feel like even gay men probably look at titties. You know what I mean? They love titties. Gay men love titties.
I don't think so.
I think they think they're fun. Some gay men. Not sexually, but they're like, yay, boobs.
Sure.
In a way.
Maybe the new gays, but not the old gays.
Yeah, there's a difference. We talked about the new gays and the
my gays back in the day liked dick,
my
bro.
metal, my gays.
Finger pop behind the cross.
Finger pop behind the cross.
It needs to be like the name of this episode. If there's a name, we don't do names of episode, but that needs to be the name of it.
That is a
finger pop
great
behind
name.
the cross. It sums it all up.
I know I said it. I know I said it annoyed me yesterday. Like when people are like, "You got to use that." I'm like, "You got to try to work that into a joke."
Yeah,
I think that would be hilarious.
Finger popping behind the cross.
Finger popping behind the cross.
I used to go to a church. What is it called? FCA, FCC, CLA. I don't know. Yeah. So Jesus group at school.
Sure.
I don't know.
FCA
in high school,
is
but
like Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
That one. They were athletes.
Your boy was Christian, dude. I got a Christian
tattoo. Thank you. That's what I'm going back because I'm so interesting. Show the tattoo. Full blown.
Like full blown. Yeah. But I remember growing
finger
up.
Popping behind the cross.
I remember growing up and so my friend Andy, he was Christian too, but he did love death metal and all that shit, right? Yeah. But in order to appease his parents, which, they had a shitload of money. What was that?
Somebody's getting a phone call.
I have no idea.
Just call him.
My bad.
It's the aliens.
No, it's not the aliens. It's Sarah interrupting my...
What's up, Sarah? Not Kennedy.
Let's see if we can answer her call.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Why not? Hi, Sarah.
I don't know if I can.
His best friend.
I was like Carla yesterday. Carla said sorry on the pod, and then Siri was all...
What's up, buddy?
No, I have to tell this. Hello.
Well, call me when you're done.
No, you're on the podcast right now.
You're on the podcast.
You're on the pod.
Can I ask you a question? Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Oh, can she see me? Can you see me?
No, she can't.
No, you can hear me.
Your camera guy sucks.
Quick question
Shots fired.
Before we let you go, what's it like being Larry's best friend?
You gotta keep a lot of this close by.
For yourself.
Perfect timing.
You also have to be okay with like the person you love the most telling you you're stupider than shit.
That's a love language right there.
But then also like he's been the biggest shoulder for my tears, bro. Like there's a whole river on this motherfucker's shoulders for my tears. So it works out.
I love that. Hell yeah. Aw, Larry's the best.
My boy for life.
Hell yeah. You guys have been friends for like 10 plus years or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, since we were wrangling hoochies and hoes at the Grand Central Station.
Hey.
Hoochies and hoes?
Yeah.
Dude, we're getting all sorts of catch lines.
More like kicking them out because them walking on hills look like baby giraffes learning how to walk. So we just kick them out.
Go home. Toothpick heels.
Go home, huh?
Were you guys single at the same time?
No, she was with somebody.
Yeah.
You were just his wing woman?
Yeah.
You got to wing woman your guy friends, man.
All day.
I got to do that. I'm the best for the comedians.
It's been great. It's been a wild ride that him and I have been on. We've been through countless bars and bar owners and shenanigans.
All that
So
shit.
it's been good.
Aww.
Birthdays, dead guys.
Lady friends.
Birthdays and dead guys.
Birthdays and dead guys.
Birthdays and dead guys.
I mean, that's a horse of a different color, girl. That's another show.
I like that phrase, a horse
but
of a
really,
different
why
color.
can't I see you guys, though? I'm not like...
Because we don't really, it was just kind of off the whim.
I can see you.
We can see you, but
We can see you.
you don't want anybody
can
seeing
just-
you looking like that. Come on.
How long?
This is why he's my best friend. guys.
Yeah. Did you need something from Larry? A personal thing? Should we just talk it out loud on the podcast?
We're sharing everything today.
No,
I mean, I've done a lot of personal things for Larry.
Oh, okay.
Did you?
I mean, and for his mom, you know.
Yeah, and moms.
And mom.
And moms.
It's getting all personal.
All right, buddy.
You know, all right, well,
Thanks
you
for
guys-
jumping on.
You guys keep on doing what you're doing. Good vibes spread your way. Thank you for calling me back, you dick, and the warning for being on camera. Thanks.
Hey,
Love you, buddy.
Love you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Yay, best
All right,
friends. That's fun.
It's funny.
I finally see her.
Yeah,
No, it's the whole world.
that's Miss Sarah.
Now you're seeing
Nice.
his face. I see her face.
Yeah, everyone's
Putting
meeting
faces
everybody.
together. All of that. What
That's
were we-
awesome.
So you.
Oh, you
oh,
were
the
talking
super
about your
Christian.
buddy
yeah.
Andy?
The Christian
Oh,
story.
Andy? Was that it?
FCA. We're talking about FCLA.
You had a buddy growing up that,
Poppin'.
like,
Oh, and, my buddy Andy. And we would, like, to appease his parents, instead of listening like regular death metal, he introduced me to like Christian metal.
Oh yeah.
Like, what
I
the fuck?
I
And
did
they, like,
listen
every-
to-
There was a punk band we used to listen to, go and
Yeah.
see. It
Ooh.
was called The Crucified. And
I was that guy though. I'd come back from camp and like try to tell. Like I was in a fraternity, and so like none of those guys
God
like
fraternity or no?
No,
Yeah, it
like
wasn't
just
the
like
Christian, just
and
regular.
like trying to convince them like, no, dude, like Christian rap, it like hits just as hard. It's like, all right.
You were trying to convince them?
Oh yeah.
I did this. I did. I
sure.
dated
And
a
you
guy
don't believe
who.
that anymore, though, right?
I mean, like to some
what's
extent I
your-
do, but like I'm not like practicing. You know what I mean? Like,
No, you saying that the Christian rock? Or
oh
rap
no,
Yeah.
is
no.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that shit's hard, dude. No.
fucking
Like,
selling Bibles down
Yeah.
on 16th and Grover.
Forget
Yeah,
that.
I'm like-
forget that secular music. Listen to this.
I'm like, oh, who's this
God's
Justin
word.
Bieber dude? And then all of a sudden the floodgates open.
You love Justin Bieber?
I was just saying, like, just an intro.
He's just fucking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your music taste?
I love Dance Gavin Dance. They're my favorite
Yep.
band.
He has
but
a.
like,
You would say they're emo or something, or you would call them not something. I don't know. The
Yeah.
screamo? I don't know. What do you call them?
I've heard them called post-hardcore.
Oh yeah, I like some post-hardcore.
I'm
Yeah,
like-
yeah, they are like post-hardcore.
Yeah.
Post-hardcore.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what I'm saying.
heard.
There's so many different genres that
So
popped up
hardcore
around.
back in the day when I listened to hardcore was like Hatebreed.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Fucking.
They're
who
like
else?
straight edge, aren't they?
There's no, I don't think so. But they're always talking about their like. I call it inspirational metal because
Yes.
it's always like be good to
Pumping them
yourself,
up.
like fucking screaming like crowbars. Like
Yeah.
that.
Pumping them
Never
up.
done crowbars like that.
Yeah, I didn't ever date those dudes. Oh, I did thrash metal dude guy too.
Yeah, thrash metal.
They were called.
That was my jam.
The band is called Ed Gein. They actually were semi-popular
That
for a
was
minute.
my jam, thrash metal when I
Thrash
was going
metal.
to high school.
They were
Like
good.
Slayer, fucking Anthrax,
Mm-hmm.
DRI, SOD.
Yeah,
So you can get down on that.
Punk, a lot of punk.
yeah.
Bad Brains, fucking
Bad
DOA,
Gotcha.
Dead Kennedys.
Bad Brains was one of my first interests. Like
Bad
punk
Brains is probably
well.
my favorite punk band. One of my favorites. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Rap.
JB.
You mentioned you like Christian rap. He's like, I don't let you still listen to Christian
Oh,
rap still.
like I could just rattle off like all the artists that were like
Yeah, it's
Christian
like
rap. And it's just,
multi-million-dollar industry. Did you know that?
Dude, well even Christian
Multi-million-dollar.
Yeah.
Christian comedians make fucking bank,
Yeah.
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
To be a
There
clean
was
comedian.
if you guys ever seen Crashing?
I love
I don't know if
Crashing. Oh, you should.
Oh,
That's
you gotta
another.
watch that, dude. What
Yeah.
the
You
fuck?
gotta watch Crashing, and I'm dying up here.
Okay.
That's
I'm
your
right
homework.
up here crashing.
Crashing's Pete Holmes.
Yeah.
So
But that one, he fucking went because he was a Christian guy that his fucking lady since they were in school or something ended up leaving her cheating on him with some
cheated
dude.
on him. Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this Christian shit isn't for me. And he's like, oh my God, were they married or just?
They were engaged.
Right. So, and it's a true story. She actually cheated on him and.
Oh, wow.
Were they engaged?
He got thrown to the wolves or something. And so he decided, like, I think it was episode 3 or 4 or something. He decided to do the Christian
circuit.
Yeah. Huge circuit.
I mean, like, isn't that why like Kanye started doing like Christian stuff, like to get like tax exempt?
No, that's called mental illness.
No, he's fucked up for sure. But
dude, him and fucking Holly.
They should be. They would be the best couple in a weird way.
But like, I thought I had heard that like 2 or 3 years ago he'd like done like Christian stuff, so he could be like tax exempt.
He went off the deep end when his mom died, plastic surgery.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that'll do it. Stuff. And then the Kardashians will make you crazy, I think, too, probably.
For sure.
And then he went out to Wyoming. I think he's going to try and take over Wyoming.
No, he actually is selling that place now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's no longer.
In my head, I was like, he's going to try to take over Wyoming, secede from the nation.
Nikki Sixx is also in Wyoming.
Nikki Sixx?
From Motley Crue? Yeah. Big ass fucking ranch out there.
Totally random in Kansas, these metal dudes, whatever. One of them knew Nikki Sixx, kind of. And we were all drunk and decided to just like call him, and he answered and talked to us for like 10 minutes. Like it's like the end of the party.
Have you ever read his book, The Heroin Diaries?
No, I haven't.
Really good.
And then there's like the Motley Crue one too, or something.
That one's dumb.
I wasn't like a fan of them, but I like the culture, like, or just knowing about that time frame and like what. I didn't watch the Pam and Tommy.
No, it was huge. That time frame was huge. Girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's probably one of the first metal bands I ever listened to. I mean, come on, they had a huge pentagram on their fucking album cover.
Yeah.
Larry was immediately like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
dark shit." Yeah.
That's my shout at the devil. You know. Of course, if you look really close, they're fucking wearing women's lingerie. But
well, it comes with being a Satan worshiper or something. Wait, were you a Satanist at any point?
Fuck no. Dude.
Okay, I don't know. When did you start losing your, like, just the...
I'm agnostic. I don't...
Yeah, you seem more kind of open to things. Yeah. When did you start being more, like, or less, I guess, intense with the Christianity?
I mean, like, it's just, like, tough. Just, like, constantly, like, holding on to that stuff. It's, like, but I do drink. I enjoy casual sex or whatever. It's, like, I think it's just...
at the camp.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Finger popping behind the cross.
No, I'm just kidding. But like that, I'm just like, I mean, I don't know. I thought there was like, I wasn't like walking that lifestyle, so I was like, I'm not gonna pretend. Like, I'm not big on acting like you're something that you're not. Right. So I'm like, I don't really live by that.
It all boils down to you being afraid of death. That's what it all boils down to.
Yeah, and like, I still have. Everyone I think has that to some extent, but like, I feel like people that are atheists or agnostic are a little bit more like accepting of it. It's just like I'm just living now.
I've had a lot of friends die, and I'm accepting of it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty.
Because you can just go. It doesn't matter. You could go.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like atheist, agnostic, they're more accepted. They're just like, like death it's
coming.
There. Yeah,
that's coming.
Nobody makes it out of this shit alive. Like
I kind of not to get too dark. I think I got really okay with it because for a long time, probably since I was like 12 to like 28 or so, I was pretty suicidal, or like had a lot of ideations and tendencies, and tried a couple of times. And then once I decided like, hey, maybe I'll try this living thing and like see what that's like, then the idea of death wasn't scary because already I had
suicide.
Yeah, like it made me not scared of, like, now I'm past that. And there is a point, like if somebody's listening right now and is in those dark spaces, like sometimes those thoughts can pop up, but you have to remember it's just a thought. It's not.
I've had tons of.
It's not you, and there was so many times where I was very close to probably dying from suicide. And
I had 5 friends die of suicide.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and I think only 2 maybe.
Yeah, this was in Washington, of course.
A lot of drugs and depressing. Yeah, it's just dark.
And
all
anywhere
the time.
from hanging to shooting to jumping off a bridge, stepping out in front of a semi.
Oh my gosh.
That shit's insane to me.
And it fucked up the dude that was driving. He was like 24 or something. And I guess the guy that was driving said he looked up at him and smiled.
No. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I had a friend that got kind of fucked up because he ran over a guy who had jumped off, like, it wasn't that high of an overpass bridge. And then he ran over, like, the body and didn't know if he killed him or the guy had already died. But I think that's
rough, man.
like, taking your brain to those dark places and then, like, kind of seeing death face to face, I think made me just kind of open and be like, you know what? I'm going to live and I know death happens and whatever. And I'm not going to let that keep me from doing things that I want to do. And also just believing that there's some sort of a consciousness level of myself that might continue in my own way of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's so intense. Like you start like getting into those like topics too. You start thinking like, man, just a complete void. Like it just ends. I mean, that's a tough thought. I don't know. I think it's weird that like Christians though like will consistently act a certain way to achieve heaven, but then like it's the weird part to me was like try to like out Christian each other. Like no, I'm more Christian than you. It's like
I can't stand it.
That's just wild.
I hate all of that.
And it gets to a point of like a cultish feeling.
There's a lot of fakeness I had seen. Like you're in the church enough, you see people that are just like. You showed up to the bake sale, so everyone knew you showed up, or like bullshit like that.
I went through a lot of religion as a young lad, like my mom and shit, bringing me through. I mean, Jehovah's Witness, Catholic, what other ones? Fucking Lutheran. What was the other one we were in? Buddhism, and then spiritualism.
Yeah.
Like so, I've been through everything, and it's all a bunch of bullshit, bro.
Yeah. I think that's the part that was so. Like taxing almost is just the so I can't think of the word, but like the regiment almost, or like the
there's no one person talking to God, dude.
That part too, dude. Mormonism, like that stuff is wild to me. But you're right, like all of it's whack for sure.
Yeah, just because Christianity has been around longer, and then all of a sudden it's like Mormonism pops up as like. It's all if you just presented the idea of like Jesus on that today to somebody, they'd be like, whatever, that's just like a cult or something. And I'm not like poo-pooing on it. I think there's a lot of ways that it helps people with morals or like
I believe there's something out there,
some strength, and I believe there's something out there. And as long as people aren't like hurting themselves or other people in this,
we're fucking wrong. It's just a sublimation that we're in. Just
or like even I think some of it's a mix is like partly. Simulation, but not in like the computer way, and partly like consciousness and different dimensions and different it's all of that mix. But I just where was it going with this? Where was it going?
But I don't know. I don't think it just ends.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I don't believe it just ends because
I do. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I hope everybody whatever they believe and want to believe, I hope that comes true. Do you know what I mean? Like just how we can create our own reality here, maybe we even create our own sort of afterlife consciousnessly where our brain or our whatever goes, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe the Mormons could go to hell. I don't know.
Yeah.
They get their own planet, dude. They'll be chilling on their own planet, so we don't have to deal with them.
Launched into space.
Yeah,
I feel like
they have levels to their shit.
No, that's the
I feel like
no, that's the fucking we
Heaven's
were even
Gate?
a part of the Scientology shit.
Oh, Scientology. So I feel like Scientology, Mormonism, and like even the Heaven's Gate cult are all in my head in somewhat of a similar area, like that wackiness.
Well, and it was weird too because I would just talk about certain things, and I would we'd be at camp, and all of a sudden someone would be like, or someone would be like, oh, I had a gay friend, and I knew I had to stop hanging out with them. It's like, what do you mean? Like you have people that are just different. Like why would you not be their friend?
That's the same person that uses the N-word with the hard R.
Oh yeah, behind closed doors they're all. And then maybe not behind closed doors. They're just like,
probably not.
I'm like, dude, that was weird to me. Is like people in the church would stop hanging out with someone because of the way.
What was weird to me was that there's this little magical man up in the sky that if you do something wrong, you're going to hell. Yeah. But as long as you ask for his forgiveness, everything's going to be fine. You'll be fine, buddy.
Yeah, I mean,
sin away, bro.
See, that necessarily doesn't bother me as much as you need to come in and tell me that you're sorry. It's like that type of shit, repentance.
That's like Baptist
oh
shit.
yeah, or even Catholic,
Catholicism,
Baptist,
and whatever you believe, fine. But there's some stuff that's just it's funky the way it's even presented.
There's 1,000 books.
Oh yeah.
And nobody's on the same page. It's how can you believe one thing?
And again, even with that, they keep finding new scrolls or new
explain
like
the dinosaurs
things or
and
like
why we fought.
yeah.
Like
keep 'em
now
covered.
we
Also-
found out that fucking humans lived way before what they're saying.
For sure.
Also, like the audacity of Christians, like, all right, we're gonna take the Jewish book and we're just gonna add on a little bit. It's like you assholes, like
And then the Mormons,
Plagiarism.
let's go plagiarism where I'm
with,
from, dude.
What's his name? Fucking the Mormon guy.
Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith.
Yeah.
I found some scrolls.
Oh, dude, I told someone that one time. They're like, no, Mormons are Christians. I was like, that's like saying Christians are Jewish. I was like, you just added onto a book and called it your own. Like, what the fuck?
No,
Like,
they were secret scrolls that only he could see.
only he could see them. Yeah, like that.
Wasn't
Okay.
even a book.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, we all did that in like 4th grade. Like, I saw it. It's like, no, you fucking didn't. Like, I don't know. That shit's wild to me.
Yeah, people hate on. Yeah, growing up, my parents were just like, love everyone. I don't know
Yeah.
unless they're mean. What are you not like ethnicity wise? Sorry, speaking
No,
of going
good.
to love it, because even that too, they're like, well, no matter the color, creed, like
Yeah.
all of that.
Hispanic, Caucasian. I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of research.
You're like, I'm named Mexican.
I was
don't
about to
know.
say, there's like, I see like the stuff like you have to fill out.
So your
forms and
mom's
stuff.
white though.
Mom's white, yeah.
Is your last name from your adopted dad?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
It's like
Staley?
Staley, yeah.
Staley, I said it.
And I don't know what that is,
Is he
but
white?
yeah, he's white.
Mm-hmm.
And like my
So your birth dad is minority.
yeah, Ibarra
He
was the
would
last
be.
name.
Just
So
Okay.
Ivara? Oh.
yeah.
So you know him?
That's a cool last name.
No, I mean, well, I know of him. I'm seeing like pictures and
And
stuff.
you
but,
never
like,
wanted to reach out to him?
No, not really. Like, and you know whether that's like fair or not, I think it wouldn't hurt my dad at all. I think he
Yeah.
would say like it's fine. The way he's been so like super supportive, but part of me is like I've had a good life. I don't really, you know,
Yeah, add
I
another
don't
person.
hurt that way. You know, like I've been loved. I don't have any
Do you hate
hard
your
feelings.
biological dad? No.
I have,
That's so
I have no
sad.
hard feelings. I mean,
Okay.
life turned out pretty good. I have a really caring family. Like
Mm-hmm.
I went, like my adopted dad's family was all out in Phoenix. That's who I saw and spent days with and stuff. Like
Alright.
I've had a good life,
family.
man. I don't
A
hold
lot
any
of people will
resentment.
hold that regret.
Yeah.
A lot of people do, and I
Fuck my dad.
yeah, and I
Or people
and,
show it in weird ways, like weird
Well,
like,
and, like, I
Oedipus
didn't-
complex and things.
Or
didn't even
use
find
that
out-
as like, oh, you never were there for me.
Yeah.
That's why my life's so fucked up.
well, and that's the thing is like it wasn't even till I don't know, I was like 12 or 13 that I found out like
Oh,
that I
wow.
was adopted.
Okay.
I never, and then
Wow.
like even after I found out, like I
Yeah,
like
how
tried
did
to
you
like
take that?
I tried to like hide it from like other people,
Were
and
you,
then
were you mad at your mom because she'd been lying to you for so many years, or did she want to wait until you were
I
mature enough
guess
to understand?
I guess I don't know if she ever knew how to bring it up. I'm also like a super naive person, like so I don't know. I think maybe to
Well,
some extent she was just like maybe he won't find out.
There's some things of Callie's mom that I'm waiting until she becomes
Sure.
a certain age
Yeah.
to break out.
Sure.
So I get it.
Yeah, and I
As time, yeah.
like what is the timing? Like what's the formality? I don't know. So
She would have told you were adopted when you were like 7, and you tell your friends, and then before you
like
know it,
yeah.
You're being
Oh,
made
you're
fun
an
of.
orphan
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
like, no, that's not
I
the
think
case.
12 is probably a good. That sounds like a great age for that.
Well, and I can't remember.
You're
the-
emotionally maturing a little bit at that
yeah.
point.
And I can't remember the exact moment, but someone was like that's a man, dude. Like he was 26 when he met my mom, so it was like
Oh, your age. That's your
yeah,
right?
yeah. Didn't even fucking think of that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, it's like he didn't have to take on that responsibility. He didn't have to do all that, and he did, and he still like I talked to him right before I got here and stuff. Like
Nice.
I love my dad, so I have no like. I guess that's part of it. Is just
Well, not
I don't
towards
think
him,
about
but I'm
it.
talking about from
Yeah, the
not from
biological.
No, biological dad. Like that's the thing is like I've been so loved. Like I don't hold
not
resentment because
and
I'm
you
just
really
like
don't have the emotional attachment
sure.
that like, oh, he was
Yeah.
there in the beginning.
Yeah,
and then
had
he
it been like
left, and-
4 or 5 or something.
Well, no,
Yeah.
if he was there in the beginning, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah. more
why
abandonment
haven't, yeah, why
issues.
haven't you been here? Like, had it been 4 or 5 when he left, it's like, okay, like, well, when's dad coming back? Like, yeah, I get that. That's a fair thought. I don't remember him at all. So
Do you have siblings from him? Do you know? Like
probably, but I'm not sure. I haven't
no
asked
interest
her.
in seeing. Yeah.
And like that probably intrigues me more.
Than
But again, I don't know. I maybe even a little bit of laziness. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't intrigue me necessarily.
But it's still like there on the table later if at
Yeah.
some point you feel like the need. Oh man, we
We're
are
going
reaching.
late.
We are going late. I'm sorry, guys. I just
Hell
looked
yeah.
at the time. Sorry
Oh,
to cut
'cause
you
you
off.
were
Alex, it
late.
did.
Yeah.
I was late. We were late, but still, we haven't done like more than like an hour and 15 lately because all like we've had things to do
Yeah,
afterwards.
we're on 2 hours and
So
14 minutes.
I'm
Hell yeah.
like thank you guys, Pat and Larry, for putting up. But getting on my system. We haven't really podcasted longer than a bit in a while, and then we missed some weeks, so it's nice to sit and do this and with a really interesting person.
This was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the fact that we've talked 5 hours in the last 2 days.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
It's so easy to talk to you. So I love really
that.
Appreciate
That's
the
biggest thing. I tell people I'm aspiring to be a comedian, but at the same time, I like that people can just talk to me, and I love to talk to people, see what. I obviously had different upbringings, I like to see what other people experience. Yes. So if people think it's easy to talk to me, that's my favorite.
And that's amazing. That shows a sign of intelligence. Even they say immersing yourself in other people's ideas and cultures and things, your brain builds in that way and that openness. And being a comedian too, the more you get out, that skill is very useful because there is definitely being on the stage. There's the writing. We talk social media, but then there's also in person networking. And is he cool to chill with? Is he is he a nice dude? Do we want to work with him? So I think you're definitely on the right track with everything. And awesome. I told you last night too, comedy's there, the mics are there when you feel like you're ready to really because you've already been doing all this stuff. More
places are having open mics.
Oh my gosh, literally every night there's comedy. There's an open mic every night except for Fridays right now.
Wow. Okay.
I'm interested to see in the next because all these comics are coming out of the woodwork. I'm interested to see who's going to be here,
who's sticking around.
Yeah, after things chill. Because I get it. Josh Fournier was even we'll see if you like this. Because after 2 weeks, I was I love this. I might stick around. I was we'll see. Yeah. And later he's I just meant that I see so many people come and go.
Sure. Everybody's sensitive and fucking.
They realize it's just not for them.
Well, and then you hear people doing it for 3 months and they're I'm just not getting paid.
Dude,
it's
oh my gosh,
I
that
know
too.
People that oh my god, it's so disgusting. I know people that use the stand-up comedian fucking label.
Yeah.
And only do it maybe once every 2 fucking years, but yet they still say they're a stand-up.
Yeah, you're a comedian. I was about to say it's weird to even say that I am. I'm I haven't done it enough. Maybe at some point I'll accept.
No, I'm talking about they were.
No, yeah.
And then they still say
okay,
that.
I see.
They've done 1 or 2 gigs, and they've been saying this for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
It's you've never done. What are you talking about?
You were a comedian. You just.
That's like Tom Papa's wife calling herself a comedian. She hasn't been on stage in fucking a decade.
Yeah,
who's his wife?
I can't remember the name of her name, but she used to be a pretty well-known comic.
Huh. So look that up. I didn't know who's married to a comedian. That's a hard thing to date us.
I watch
that too. You might get more if you not relationships, but some fun with ladies. Go out in comedy more, because the men, at least, funny guys get a lot of chicks. Not the funny ladies so much. I don't get a lot of dudes hitting on me. They're scared of me. But the dudes get mad pussy, dude. The comedians, a lot more than I was thinking.
Especially if you look like Pete Davidson.
But even some of the other ones, just if you're funny and charismatic, all the ladies oh my god, it comes show up. So if you're just casual sex, like you said, coming out more to comedy. He's
we also talked about kid touching too. I'm let's not do that either. You know what I mean? Not that
the kid touching. All right. What do you so?
All right, cut this off.
Right. So kid fucking and finger popping behind the church.
Behind
the cross. Popping behind the cross.
Finger popping behind the cross.
It's been a lot. Yeah. We'll have to have you back when we start doing reoccurring. Second people's. And what do you have coming up? Do you want to plug anything? We'll have all your info.
I'll be on open mics, and I'll be hopefully getting on shows at some point.
Do it. You've done 1 or 2 already.
I've done 1 show, which that was awesome. I need to just get going more and hopefully be asked.
Yeah, you got this, kid.
You just got to be out there more.
Kid.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah. Just got to go.
Yeah. Oh, and then too, sorry, Sundays, Caleb Mulkey has an early mic.
Okay.
Too at 6 at Lizard Tail. So, you have work very early usually. So, all right. You guys can find me carlavasquezcomedy.com. Carla Vasquez Comedy on socials. Carla V Thinks Out Loud socials. You know that drill. We'll have links to when you drop the podcast with me on it. Can we put that on the? We'll put that on the website as well.
Perfect.
So people can go listen to Escaping Tyranny.
Please do.
Tierney Staley. Thanks Larry. Thanks Patty. Thanks Tierney. Thanks Snow the dog.
This is great.
I'm Carla Vasquez. See you next week. Solo episode. So tomorrow's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Gonna fry balls.
Gonna get some mushrooms. mushrooms and see some hippos. Yeah, I'll talk about it next week. Bye, guys. I'll be 36 next time you see me. See you on the other side.
Fucking old, dude.
I'm getting there.